This is Jay Dobbins, and I love the 99% Radio Network. Do yourself a favor and start listening today, right now, and every day. Tune into these guys and make yourself better.
All right, welcome to the 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl with Sideshow 12 and Mongo. We are broadcasting you live from the Fishbowl Radio Network studios here in Globe Life Park, the heart of the entertainment district in Arlington, Texas, man. We got a great show for you today. Please stay tuned because it's all about boobs and bravery today. All about boobs and bravery today. You know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we are hitting it hard with getting some donations and trying to help those people that are going through treatment. We need to find a cure, and we have some great guests coming on today to discuss boobs and bravery. Well, welcome Mongo and 12. What's going on, brothers?
Doing great. We welcome Mongo back because he wasn't here.
Yeah, no, I'm here this week.
He was here last week.
I was not here last week.
You weren't here last week?
No, I had a guest. I was at home.
Oh, it was a cardboard cutout of you then.
Yeah.
No,
it was probably just as intelligent.
Yeah, we got a big show today. Today's show is brought to you by the Veterans Resource and Outreach Center, located at 4210 Industrial Street in Rowlett, Texas. The V-Rock and Life Message have been dedicated to serving our veterans and their families throughout the surrounding areas for over 20 years. They're a no-border agency, which means no matter where you live on this great planet, the V-Rock stores are always open to you. Some of their services include food and clothing assistance, job readiness and placement, transition support, medical claims, and much, much more. Visit them at www.lifemessage.org/veteran and see how they can serve you today. Or stop by Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Microdot Helmet Company and Scoot Dog Motorcycle Leather and Gear. If you ride, you know having the proper helmet is important. So comfort, lightweight, and DOT approval is key. The Microdot helmet fits all three categories. Weighing less than a bottle of water, along with its easy on and off ratchet strap, makes this design the chosen one for all riders. Visit Mad Dog Mike at Scoot Dog Motorcycle and Gear for all your riding needs. Located at 780 Debbie Lane in Mansfield, Texas, or visit their website at www.scootdog, that's SKOOT dog.com, or at www.microdothelmet.com and get your new helmet today. Use special discount code 99% RN and receive a special offer off your purchase. Microdot, the world's smallest and lightest DOT approved helmet. So you guys are like two teenagers playing on your phones over there.
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties because I can't share with anybody. So
really,
yeah.
Well, you know, Facebook's blocking a lot of stuff, and probably our show is probably one of them that they're blocking because we are a boisterous bunch here, and you know, if we're not allowed to share, then that limits our viewership. But you know, like Facebook and Twitter have blocked the New York Post and some other tweets and social media contact. So I'm not surprised that you guys can't share.
I got cut off after 10.
You got cut off. Well, yeah. Well, 10. It's like COVID. You can only share 10 people because at 11, people will start getting that COVID virus, and we don't want that.
Okay, so y'all out there that are listening in right now, help Mongo out, help me out, like
Share the
and
shit out of
share
it.
our show, share it with your groups and stuff. Help us out, send the message out. I don't know what the deal is. You know what? I've become a conspiracy theorist, and I'll bet you it's just because I was talking publicly about that douchebag Joe Biden and all the crap that he's up to his armpits in, and I'll bet you it has something to do with it. What do you think?
I think you pissed Joe Biden off, and I think this is where it's
Yeah. Just because his son is alleged to be a pedophile?
Well, we're going to see all that come out. A lot of the mainstream media has been putting out some real disturbing reports on that.
Yeah.
Mayor Giuliani, ex-Mayor Giuliani, just turned over the laptop, Hunter Biden's laptop, over to the Delaware State Police, and they've got some pretty disturbing images that they've already gotten off there. So we're going to see how this all plays out. I mean,
somebody will be committing suicide soon.
Yeah. Number 57 of Hillary Clinton's friends list.
Yeah.
She's losing friends left and right. Yeah. But this takes a lot of weight off the Epstein trials and all this pedophilia stuff that's going on. This is all playing into whatever game this deep state has. The more and more we hear about all this stuff coming out, someone's got to go to jail. Someone's got to be held accountable for this because, between corruption, between the human trafficking, the sexual trafficking, and the underage kids, Epstein Island, and all this stuff, man, this is just too big to hold down anymore. I mean, this pot's going to overflow one day, and we're going to see a lot of people, like you said, either committing suicide or going to jail for a long time. I don't think these liberal DAs and all these other politicians that are trying to hide this, they're not going to be able to hide this much longer, man. It's coming out, and to be stupid enough to leave your laptop, I guess that's what any meth head or crackhead does, leaves your laptop with all these pornographic pictures on it and emails at some shop to get fixed and forget to pick it up. Come on now. I mean, how crazy is that?
It's beyond me. I had a discussion earlier this week with a local politician who's on the other side of the fence, and personally, I like this person. I'm not going to mention this person's name, but I like this person, and it's a serving politician in Dallas County. And this person asked me, I commented so that they found out about it, that I was going to vote for this person's opponent. And they got a hold of me, and we talked for about 40 minutes. I said, how can you vote for my opponent? I thought because of our relationship, whatever, that you would vote for me. And I said, well, we never talked politics because my issues are nonpartisan. I support and back veterans. We work to try to help our veterans and our first responders, and that's not a partisan issue. Everybody should be on board with it. I said, but where I fell completely away from any thought of supporting a candidacy involving you is when you spoke out publicly in support of Biden and Harris. And when I'm 60 years old. I've been looking at Joe Biden and hearing his bullshit for, since he ran for president the first time, since he had to drop out when he ran against Ronald Reagan because he was plagiarizing shit. He is a creepy Joe, fits him perfectly. And Kamala Harris is a socialist. And we had a long conversation about how she got where she's at. I lived in California for many years. Willie Brown was arguably the most powerful politician, the most powerful man in the state of California. And he was her patron. Everybody, it's not a secret. Everybody knows this. And you have those two and not only that, you have 20 Democratic candidates, right? 20 of them for running for president. And out of all those people that run, you end up with Kamala as your VP pick, who can't even garner 5% of the support across the whole country.
Right.
Come on. That's pandering of the worst kind, because she claims to be black, although she's from Jamaica and India. You know, come on. I'm sick and tired of these political games that people play. People may hate Trump, but you know what? The dude does what he says, and you don't ever have to wonder what he means, because he says it. He says,
right.
This is what I think. Whether you like it or not, he says it, and then he goes out and does what he says he's going to do. If these other two jackasses get in, it's going to be the death knell of America.
Well, let's go even pre-Trump 2000. Let's go back pre-2016. Democrats and Republicans, more or less, they had different opinions, but they got along for the most part. They came to sensible compromises. They were able to speak. Now, I'm not a Democratic person hater per se, but I am. The leftist has taken over the Democratic Party. The Democrats still have some good ideas. So do the Republicans, but the leftist has put their agenda into the Democratic Party, that it's changed the whole look of what they're about, and that's why we can't get along anymore. I just heard that Trump and Pelosi haven't spoken for over a year. Yep. You can't run a country like that. That's not the way we as a society can run, where the House Speaker and the President are not even on speaking terms. Yeah. And I blame this all on the left, the radical left. I'm not even going to say the left. I'm going to say the radical left.
Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, who was the Speaker of the House during his presidency, talked all the time. They went to dinner. They fought like cats and dogs over each one's political agenda, but they got stuff done.
Right.
And I know that was a different time. We didn't have the squad, and we didn't have the problems with the progressives and the socialists and the communists and that we have now, and the Antifa and the
pay to play,
BLM,
thing, yeah.
and on and on and on. All these radical groups that we have in America today wasn't like that back in the day. But you're right. We have to communicate with the opposite side and try to find some common ground for the good of this country.
And let's hit on to the left real quick on that is, and before we even get into the rest of the show,
we didn't intend to go down this hole.
No, we didn't go down this hole, but we're down there, and it kind of brings a good segue into this. The 99% Radio Network would like to extend its thoughts and prayers to the Houston Police Department and the Greenville Sheriff's Department for the loss of two sergeants this past week, Sergeant Harold Preston and Sheriff Sergeant Conley Jumper. Both were killed this week. Sergeant Preston was out on a domestic violence call for the second time this week, the same place, and Sheriff Jumper was out on a traffic stop. Two of these calls, the domestic violence and a traffic stop, is what these liberal left radicals want to put civilian personnel to do. And, we had a liberal judge and a liberal DA in Houston that let this animal out, this illegal animal, out of the cage to go kill and commit another murder. And he shot two officers and his 14-year-old son in the process. He should have been detained. He should have never been let out of jail. And a 41-year-old veteran who served his community faithfully was murdered. Somebody should be held accountable for that. And I think the Houston DA's office better look strong and hard about what their agenda is, because this life did not need to be lost. And I tell you, we're going to get into that as that mad as hell in your mad as hell rant. I'm sorry I went down that road, but I just want to, once again, our thoughts and prayers are out to those two departments that lost good men due to this whole agenda that we're going down.
Well, have some good news.
What's the good news?
I know we
that nice knit cap you have on.
Hey, so this cap.
Oh, put it back on. I'm getting a glare.
Listen, had a very nice lady and I'll share her information. She brought in a whole bag full. She knitted a big, huge bag of caps, all different colors, sizes. Well, they're almost all about the same size, but different patterns and stuff.
Right.
To donate to our homeless veterans.
Oh, that was
and,
nice.
I was thinking I might just invite her to call in and talk about that next week. She couldn't do it today.
Yeah.
But these are all for donation, and they're great quality. They're a little different from the caps that I normally wear, but wanted to give her a shout out. So she did really. It was a very nice thing for her to do.
It's nice to see some people, are taking this, the lockdown and be home to take their skills to another level and to make a difference in people's lives. And I think those caps will really benefit a lot of our homeless veterans that are out there. That was real nice of her, and I'm looking forward to hearing her for next week. Come on the show, and because it's really, it's a nice little cap. It's nice.
So I have some other good news. So last week we had Padre from Iron Templars representing Men of Nehemiah, and he told us that they had suffered a catastrophic fire at their housing facility. It's an apartment complex that held around 40 men,
all in recovery.
All in recovery. A number of them veterans of the United States Armed Forces. And they lost everything because some crackhead Bob went in there and
Hunter Biden was there?
burned everything down. So last week, or earlier in the week, I had two gentlemen, two pastors come in, and they wanted to take a tour of the V-Rock. So I was taking them around, and they said, we have a bunch of jackets. It's going to turn colder. We have jackets and whatnot. I said, well, do you also have clothes? Could you get clothes? And make a long story short, I hooked the three of them up, Padre and the two pastors. If you remember, Padre gave us a list of clothes that, they needed socks, underwear, basically everything. And the preachers sent me a message back, sent me an email saying, we'll take care of this.
That's great. That's great. So
that's some good news right there.
That's great news. And we can get all that stuff together for those men, because I know they're going to in dire need of it. So keep those donations coming in for and they need shoes, because all these men still work. They have full-time jobs during their recovery, and this is a big speed bump in the road because they lost everything. So let's keep those donations coming in, and we'll see what these pastors bring to the table. And if we need more, we'll put out the other call for help. Yep. So tell us who we got on the show today.
So I forget the fellow's name that did the book on Ramadi, but
Scott Housing.
And
U.S. Marine Corps, Scott Housing.
I was going to bring, I told Mongo, I said I was going to bring a couple extra boxes of crayon for them to nibble on during his segment, because I know Mongo
he's calling in from California.
From California?
He's calling in from California.
And then we're going to have Melinda Mclendon, wife of retired Navy SEAL Chief Floyd Mclendon, and both are dear friends of ours. She'll be calling in to talk about boobs.
We gotta love talking about boobs.
We love boobs.
We got today's the boobs and bravery, because Scott has an organization called Save the Brave. He traveled over 5,000 miles, and probably more. I don't want to misquote it, but he'll let us know, on his motorcycle from California around the country to raise awareness for veteran suicide. And he also has a book called Echo of Ramadan. Ramadan. I don't know where that came from, but
maybe that's how they say it in New York.
Yeah, Ramadan. I hung out with too many Hasidic Jews. Yeah, he's got a book out. I think some of those proceeds go to helping veterans too. So I can't wait to hear from him. That'll be coming up at around the 4:30 hour. So it will be nice to hear that story and what he's doing to really get the word out for our veteran and our veteran suicides.
Well, this is very timely for Melinda to be on because she is a breast cancer survivor. And on Sunday, the 25th, at Heroes Memorial Bridge, they're going to have the I think it's the first official event other than a Walk the Bridge event, which is tomorrow night. They're doing the breast cancer awareness ruck across Heroes Bridge, and I think they're planning on going the whole way, all the way across and all the way back. So it's a 4 mile
4 mile ruck.
Some of you that are participating in that, actually doing it, we could just ask her; she'll know.
Yeah. And this is going to be the last.
Are they shaving your head that night?
They are shaving my head before the ruck starts. If you guys go onto my Facebook page, you will see where you can donate money. We want to, our goal is $2,000. We're still getting, we're getting there slowly. We still have a couple more days left, but we're getting there slowly. But right now, the top donator is none other than the Three Drunk Monkeys bass player, Mark Caruth.
I saw that.
He is, so far, he is in the lead to shave my head.
So are you going to just do like David, David Jordan shaved his head too.
Yeah.
Are you going to go the David Jordan style?
No,
you're bicking.
Yep.
So you're going to go all full on 12 and Mongo.
I'm going to go full on. You're going to shave. Yep. Right down to, yep.
All right.
Getting big.
Cool. He's coming to the bald side.
I'm coming to the bald side for cancer. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it for breast cancer. And, that's
Can
why
we draw
want
little pictures on the back of your head?
That's for more donations. I haven't seen your donation get on the board yet. So once your donation gets on the board, then we'll talk about you drawing on my head.
Okay.
But
all right.
Right now, what I have planned is at the foot of Heroes Bridge, right on that walkway, right by the Heroes Bridge sign, some lucky participant who beats out Mark's donation will have the pleasure of shaving me straight down and picking my head. As the 99% Radio Network streams it live. So, yeah.
Well, you know what? On a serious note, I commend you for stepping up for that. I think that's pretty cool. And I think it's, it just goes to, we can laugh and joke about it, but dude, you are as committed as anybody about these things that we get involved in, and I have much respect for you for doing it.
Oh man!
And I want to see.
It's only hair.
I don't know what your dome is going to look like, bald, but I guess we're fixing to find out.
And the thing is, like you can go on these big charity walks for breast cancer, and all that money goes into a big fund for breast cancer research and treatments and stuff like that, trying to find a cure. The money that's being donated here is going to go to a local family. While you're going through chemo and radiation treatment, that knocks the hell out of you. You're tired, and especially for women who, women get very anal about a clean house. They don't have, they may not have the support network to be able to clean the house. And the one thing you don't want is to worry while you're going through treatment is to worry about food in the refrigerator, a clean house, paying your bills. We want to try to relieve some of that pressure on some of those people that are going through treatment in the Rowlett or the Rockwall area. So that's what the money is going to go for. We want to be able to help a family individually. Depending on how much money we get, we'll help multiple families. But right now, we want to try to raise enough money to help 1 or 2 families that are having a hard time going through treatment. And if we can get a maid service in there to do a cleaning, if we can pay a car payment, if we can go out on a shopping spree and fill their refrigerator with, a couple $100 worth of food, that alone takes a lot of pressure off someone that's going through these cancer treatments.
So I saw on one of your postings that there was like about, I'm ballparking, but like $500 raised to the
400. There's about $435.
$435. Okay, so is that how much money that Mark Caruth is bid to cut your hair?
No. I'm not going to tell you how much Mark.
Okay,
bid.
well, I'm
certain people bid.
So here's
amount.
the reason I'm asking, because Renegade he wants to know what's the bid at, because if the objective is to raise some money, you need to give me a hint here so I can answer him, because that might mean that another bid will be coming forth, which is what you want to do, right?
Well, here's the deal. If I tell you how much Mark bid, right? If I tell you how much Mark put in, then people will go, oh, well, maybe I can't afford that. And then
I know it started at $25.
No, it started. You could donate $3 if
I know,
you want.
but donate and bidding to cut your hair are 2 different things.
No, it's not. It's whoever makes the biggest donation,
Okay.
Whoever makes the biggest donation.
Right.
So far, Mark has made the biggest donation.
Okay.
So, did Mark donate $50? Did Mark donate $25? You'll have to make your own donation to figure that out and see if you won.
Jude donated $25 because I saw it.
Right.
So I know she did. So if someone gave $3, they wouldn't have the
correct.
We would accept it because it would go to help people. But I'm trying to determine.
So Jude put $25 in. She made that donation.
So it's got to be north of 25.
It's got to be north of 25.
All right, Renegade. There's your answer. So, it's north of 25.
Mark made a sizable donation. You can figure out whatever you want, and so far he's the top runner. So, but I'm not going to give out that price because, hey, donate what you can. But once again, you know what? As it's going to be a lot of fun to have somebody shave my head. On a serious note, you don't have to donate big dollars, $5 or $10, all adds up, man. Just because we want to help a family in the Rockwall or the Rowlett areas, and like I said, $5 from 100 different people, or 500 different people, man, that really will make a huge difference in someone's life who's battling breast cancer.
Well, would you agree that the head is everything from like the Adam's apple up?
Yes.
No, I'm keeping a goatee. You know what? I'll tell you what. If someone makes $1,000 donation by the end of the show, if someone makes a $1,000 donation by the end of the show, I'll shave my goatee.
Well, Renegade just said he'll donate $101. So there you go. He's.
I'm not saying.
So when will you like?
If he donates $101. I'm just saying he may or may not be in the lead.
So it's got to be $1,000 for your goatee, though.
You donate $1,000 by the end of this show. By the 6 o'clock hour, you donate $1,000. I see it go on there.
Everything from the nipples up.
From the nipples up.
No.
Oh, Mongo's got that's a great idea.
You donate $1,000
for $1,000. The eyebrows too.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, come on.
$2,000.
He can be bought.
No, $1,000. I'll shave.
Hey, we got a magic marker. We can, you see. Hey.
Oh yeah, no, we can draw those in.
We've been to bars where we've seen women that do that. Right,
so we can give you facial expressions.
Bars
and we
can
draw them back in. We can make you thoughtful.
Stay out of those tranny bars.
It was called the Hacienda and the El Chihuahua.
The Little Oyster.
Come on, we'll help you out. We'll help you out.
Listen, for $1,000, I will shave my goatee.
Oh,
right now we're shaving my head on the highest donation. Someone donates $1,000 by the 6 o'clock hour. I will let them shave my goatee as well.
So London is calling.
London is calling. Isn't there a song?
London Spector's on here. He goes. He wants to know how he donates. I don't know what he's talking about throwing out there.
Tell him to go on to my Facebook page, and there's a fundraising link on there. Just scroll down, you'll see it for the fundraiser, and you can just make the donation right to the Facebook page. And then
okay, so Renegade's
Facebook.
asking the same thing. Renegade. Go to and Mad Dog, by the way, from Doom Striker said he shaved his off in the 2nd grade for free. You could do it for a donation. So
that's right. Actually, you know what?
He was trying to be mature like Dad, so he just started shaving.
Let me see.
Okay, so say it again, Sideshow. They go to your Facebook page and you have the donate link or whatever set up there.
I'm gonna reshare that right now.
Can you go on put in the comments so they'll know and pin it. Have Mike pin it to the bottom of the page.
Let me see. Hold on one second, because I am technically challenged on that aspect. But let me see. All right, so it's the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk Run on Heroes Memorial Bridge. That is, I'm sharing it right now onto my news feed. Donate.
I shared the post off. I pinned it.
Oh, you pinned it?
Oh,
you were able to pin
somebody,
that? All right,
Michael
cool.
Call. I don't know if this is it or not.
Yeah, that's Mike right there.
Oh, that's you.
He pinned it.
Nice to know you.
Some guy named
Michael Call was putting the stuff on there.
He's only our board operator. All right, so Mike got to pin it. Excellent. All right, so it's pinned where you can make your donation. Yeah, like I said, this all goes to a worthy cause. It's going to a family or families, depending on how much money we raise, to help them out with some bills, to help them out with a car payment, fill their refrigerator, whatever they choose, and whatever will help them out the most. And it's good to just be able to help out one or two families individually.
So what would it take for you to shave your goatee?
About 3 guys that hold me down.
All right, it's 3:30. Can we give Melinda a call? Give Melinda a call. We'll get Melinda on the line, and we can talk more about this walk ruck.
So while we're doing that, Spect is saying if I donate $500, I guess it's US, you shave hair and goatee now. No, it's got to wait till we got to
wait for the bridge walk, man. I got to wait for
stream it live,
got to wait for the to stream it live. But I would Grant, I would love for that donation to come in. Thank you so much. And if you make that donation, you can always, I will let you name a person to shave my head and goatee. So yeah, if he makes that donation, he'll be able to name somebody because he won't be able to shave it from London.
Yeah.
But we getting no answer on let me text her real quick, tell her we're trying to call her. There you go. Maybe we were trying to
Yep, we're on the air with her.
Hey, Moon.
Hey, I can't see you guys.
whoop.
You can't see us? Uh-oh.
You're not gonna be able to see us, but we can see you.
Okay.
Hold on.
Perfect.
Let's make sure we're all up and running here. We got her video up yet, Mike?
Not mine.
And can you
Not me.
turn up the volume a little bit so we could hear her?
Oh, yes, gotcha. There you go.
So are you calling us from an undisclosed location?
Yes, it's my underground tunnel.
You got to turn your video on? You got your video on?
Yep.
All right. Just make sure you got clothes on.
I do,
All right, cool.
from the top up.
I know we all Skype in our underwear. It makes things more comfortable. So, Melinda, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We've been walking the bridge for over almost 2 years now to raise awareness for suicide in our veteran and our first responder communities. And then, we just had the Hands Across the Bridge, and we got it renamed to Heroes Memorial Bridge. So, that bridge that connects those two communities, Rockwall and Rowlett, is turned into more than just a structure. It is turned into a place of healing, and it's really become a journey for a lot of people who are battling different things, from mental illnesses to terminal cancers to sicknesses. So, you are going to be the first one to really branch this bridge into more options for other people to use this bridge to help them heal. So we thank you for that.
You're most welcome. I am just very humbled that there is a place that we can go that people know of and that we've heard of and that we're using it for saving lives. I mean, what a better cause. And now people will have more of a platform, not only just their voice, but they'll also have a place to meet. And so others can come together and, when it's convenient for them and, just stand up and let their voices be heard.
I was listening to a song the other day because somebody put this on, I forgot if it was Blue Help. I think it was Karen Solomon or somebody from Blue Help had talked about the song Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
Mm-hmm.
And I started listening to that song, and then I thought about Heroes Memorial Bridge, man, and it gave me such chills, because if you listen to the words of that song and think about walking or rucking over that bridge, man, it really brings life into perspective, and it shows what that cement structure is all about.
Yes, most definitely. It has really struck a passionate fire in my soul. especially when it's brought to light that 22 veterans, that's just what we know of. That's not counting just us regular, ordinary, everyday people committing suicide a day. That's almost one person an hour.
I know.
Like, I can't even fathom that.
And we have to raise this alarm, this cry, because, when we look at some of the programs that are out there, we look at some of the people that have went out to go get help and have been denied it or not given the correct help. It's really a shame to see how our veterans, the people who served our country, are suffering and battling, and our country is not stepping up to the plate. They're really, they're putting these smoke and mirror plans in place, and no one is really getting the work done. And the Heroes Memorial Bridge, I think, is a good platform, and we're on the right path to start this.
Yes.
So
for sure.
Can I comment on what you just said about people not stepping up?
Well, I know you're going to bring up Prevents, the Prevent program.
No, actually, that's out there. But you made such a good point. You would expect that when our elected officials become aware of this problem, and they should all be aware of it because it happens across the country. So there's really no excuse. And when a veteran or a first responder, especially one that's active duty, takes his life on duty, that should be a big thing. That should get people's attention, right? So
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you right now, Ted Cruz, if you're listening, Michael Flushy, if you're listening, I'm really pissed off, and I'm going to go on a rant about this because you guys are elected officials, whom I have respect for, I might add. I've voted for you. But when you're made aware of these problems and you don't have time to address it, but you have time to get in some kind of Twitter shit with Jim Carrey, who's not even an American, over a painting and crap like that, instead of focusing on our veterans and first responders, that's bullshit, my friend. That's total horseshit. It pisses me off when I saw that you had time to do that, but you didn't have time to address the life of the young Navy seaman that took his life out in Coronado last week, and that pisses me off.
How many times, how many veterans are going to commit suicide at the VA hospital in the parking lot? How many of those veterans are we going to hear about that were begging for help?
Yeah.
And were denied it, or were pushed off and said, come back in 3 months or come back in 4 months when we can fit you in.
And especially when a word, an acknowledgement from somebody as powerful as a Ted Cruz or one of your representatives or whatever, the impact that can have on this discussion on the bridge, for example, and the services, the solutions, the alternatives and stuff that we're providing. Are any of the others that are out there where people are doing good work to help our veterans and first responders? Just that acknowledgement. But when you got time to get involved in a Twitter, fight with some jerkwad who doesn't amount to anything in the greater scheme of things, he's an actor. Nobody gives a shit what he thinks. Why waste time on that? Why not pick up the phone and say, hey, what about this veteran that just killed himself? What about this police officer that just killed himself?
Or their families. And your passion right there, 12, your passion right there, right, is sparking. That's what Heroes Memorial Bridge does. It sparks a passion inside of us. And you know what? Sometimes we can't count on our elected officials. Yeah. We have to be the voice. We have to be loud enough to make that change, and we are. And we're, it's baby steps, but we're getting there, and we're doing it. And now with Melinda doing the breast cancer awareness, this is just another step in the right direction to help the people out there that are not being heard.
So, Moon, speaking of being heard, Moon, you got a beautiful head of hair right there, but I saw the picture of you with you look like me and Mongo, just as
I don't think I look near as good as you guys.
Yeah. Well, that's up for debate there. But so tell us your story. Tell us your journey.
So back to having a voice, a lot of us feel like just because we say something, it's not going to make that big of a difference. But I have learned through being able to speak about the journeys that I have gone on, that it helps also with my healing. It helps also knowing that if I'm going through this, I know at least somebody, 1 or 2, 10, it doesn't matter, is possibly going through it also. So that's why I kind of stepped forward and started talking about, the lupus and the dark places that sometimes creep up on us, and how it's okay to not be okay. During the breast cancer scare, frightening, I was working out a lot, and I had a sore spot under my armpit. Well, I let it go on for about 3 weeks afterwards because I just thought I'd pulled this muscle. And then it got to the point to where I went to rub deodorant on, and it was so sore to the touch. So I'm very, very hard-headed and have to learn hard lessons in order to really learn a lesson. You could tell me 15 times, but until I've been through it, I can't associate with it. So I go to the doctor, and they take me for an ultrasound. Then they're going to send me for an MRI, the standard procedure. And the ultrasound lady is very, very quiet and doesn't say anything to me, but I can see the mass on the screen.
Let me, Melinda, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me ask something. I just want to back you up a minute.
Yeah.
Do you find, or have you known of, and I think a lot of women out there who do not go for their annual mammograms or do self-inspections on themselves,
right,
to check for lumps, or do you think a lot of them are scared to find out the results? They find a lump and they think it's going to go away, and it ends up metastasizing. Yeah. It's like cinnamon in an
yes. Yes.
To
so
a
I will
point
tell you,
where
I
it's uncontrollable.
had never been for a mammogram ultrasound because I was only 37, 38 around that time when I found the lump. And I had never been told that anything above the nipples and up, if it was a mass or a bump, it was something to be very, very concerned about. But if it was anything at the nipples or below, it was like a milk duct, duct that had been, clogged or whatever. But I'd never been told that. I never researched it. I thought, not me. It would never happen to me,
Especially at 38.
Person. So I never went and got my mammograms, and I never did my self-exams. I just happened to have a sore spot under my arm that I pressed on, and it hurt in my breast. So fortunately, I had those warning signs. Some do not.
That's why it's so important. And when getting back onto, let's go talk about medical insurance. And people nowadays, 7 months we're into this pandemic where, people who are on furlough or lost their jobs, their medical insurance, a lot of it has been canceled. So for 7 months, they haven't been able to go see a doctor. And, I just had one of my friends, I found out yesterday, a guy I worked with over at the Omni Hotel, Bobby, he was one of the cooks there. On September 20, he's been furloughed as long as I have since March. And on September 29th, he wasn't feeling too well. He finally got to the doctor. And he didn't have his insurance, but he went to the doctor because he really wasn't feeling well, and they found out he had stage 4 cancer. And rest in peace, Bobby. They gave him 3 months to live, and he died on October 1st. Now, who knows if maybe if he had that medical insurance, or if he wasn't furloughed and he was able to, get that check 7 months ago, maybe he would have been able to be, caught. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to interject on that.
Yeah, no, that's a huge concern. I was speaking to my mother yesterday, not to get off track, and the doctors had told her to go and get some chest x-rays done, and she has not done it because she doesn't have insurance, and she's always had problems with her lungs. So yes, that too is also another concern. And the finding out process is pretty brutal, that something's wrong, because it definitely depends on your mentality and where you're at on how you're going to cope and how you're going to deal with it. So when the ultrasound lady was very, very quiet, I knew that something was up. And so at that moment, I asked her, I said, you can tell me what's going on, what you see. I said, I see it too. I said, is it cancer? She said, well, let me go get the doctor. Well, then I knew
Right
at that
there.
moment that it was bad. So the doctor comes in, he tells me that, yes, I can tell by the films that it is cancerous. We're going to send you down for an MRI. And I said, hold up. I need you to tell me before I leave today, what is the plan? Because I am not going to die from this. I'm not. You tell me what we're going to do, and we need to expedite it. And he's looking at me like I've lost my mind. I'm like, we can remove the breast, we can do treatment, whatever we have to do, but I need a plan before I go home, because I'm the type, I will go home and marinate on it, and it'll just roll around, and it just gets worse, and the ball gets bigger, and
Right.
just wanted to conquer it, and move on. So he comes back, he's like, we need to go in and remove the mass, and you're going to have to go through chemo and radiation. Frightened, but also I had these 3 little boys that needed me. And I'm a firm believer that God puts you through things for a reason. And the person I am now is not the person I was back then. I was coached. I had a coach of the darkness, if you will, inside of me. And I did not care what I said about people. I did not care. I did not see people for who they were. I judged the book judged the cover before I even looked inside the book. I said mean and just disgusting things about people out loud. And I didn't even know that I was doing that. And I'm saying this only because the story is going to go on. So I go through chemo. My hair falls out. And all of us women are like, oh my gosh, if my hair falls out, what will I do? It was frightening, but also I learned that you don't have to have hair. It's not really a big deal. You can make it without it. But let me tell you, when my eyebrow fell out, when my eyebrow fell off, I thought I was going to lose it. And I was scared to touch the other one because I knew it was going to fall out. So here I am looking in the mirror, and I have one eyebrow, and this one is gone. And I'm like, okay, do I touch it? Do I not touch it? So
now,
that
just real quick, on a, and I'm not going to say that women are vain or anything like that, but a woman's hair is very important to them. They do care about their looks. They do care about their presentation, and they get very self-conscious and very self-judging, and that goes from a very early age of childhood, right? So when you lose your hair and you lose some your eyebrows, you don't. It makes you feel, that puts a big mental strain on you as well, correct?
Oh, yes. Yeah, because I was working in the restaurant industry as a general manager, and I'm the face of the company. So I'm still going to work. I'm bald. Sometimes I wrapped my head, sometimes I didn't. No eyebrows. They told me my eyelashes would probably fall out, my teeth would fall out, your hair when it grows back, it may be a different color, it may be a different texture.
Wow.
Just all kinds of things that could possibly happen going through chemo.
So, brother, Melinda, if I can just jump in real quick, me and Mongo are texting back and forth right now, and we're concerned about you. We don't want you to suffer when you have to shave your eyebrows. We don't want you to have any self-esteem issues. So we've agreed.
Look at my face.
So
look at my face.
Look
do you
at
think
my
do you think I really give a shit?
I do not have eyebrows. I get by just fine.
We've agreed.
I got no
to buy you
self-esteem
some Groucho Marx eyebrows. Okay, so that way you won't have any self-esteem issues. So we're gonna take care of you when you shave your eyebrows.
I'm gonna go home and find some
Guys
caterpillars
are
tonight.
the
We'll just glue them on his head.
You know what? I'll shave my eyebrows if you burn that Raider jersey that you have in your house.
Oh my God!
That's a good one.
That's a Kenny Stabler. It's a Kenny Stabler original.
Oh well.
Yeah, 12.
All right.
I mean,
all right. We're
That's
getting
hilarious.
I'll tell you what.
Nope. We're
I
getting
would sacrifice this one though.
Oh no, that's only a Brett Favre thing. Nobody cares about it. So again, Melinda.
So being the face of the restaurant, I was still going to work, and there was a gentleman that came into work. He was an older gentleman, and he was with a group of people. And I'm fast forwarding through a lot of things to make this point. He came over to my table where I was sitting, because I did a lot because I was so sick. He said, are you sick, honey? And I said, yeah. He said, I recognize your look. And I said, my look? He said, yeah. He said, my wife just passed away 3 months ago from cancer. He said, do you have cancer? And I said, yes, sir, I do. So he pulls out his wallet and he hands me this card. He said, she kept this card with her everywhere she went. He said, and I feel like I need to give it to you. And I said, okay, I take it. So remind you, I'm not the person I was then, but I am now. I take it and I'm like, okay, thanks for the card, just very cold and abrasive because of childhood things that I went through. I never had that person approach me that made me feel like I was in a safe zone to open up to them, to let them know what had gone on in my childhood. So I put all that inside, forgot about it, so I thought. And it turned me into a very bitter, dark person. And I was coached by that darkness 24/7. So this card read, you are here for such a time as this. And it said, for your eyes to see, for your ears to hear, and for your heart to feel. Wow. So at the time, I didn't take much notice in what that meant. But here's the lessons that I learned. Working in the restaurant industry, I would see people and be behind the bar bartending, and I didn't have any hair. I didn't have eyebrows. And I would overhear people making comments that said, if they would hire women that weren't so butchy looking, then they'd probably make more money. Or, wow, she would really be a pretty girl. She'd let her hair grow out. Or, wow, she don't even have any eyebrows. Like, just very rude comments.
People thinking that you were making a statement or something.
Yeah, like that was me. But this was a reflection. To me, this is the lesson that I learned. This is a reflection that God was saying, this is what you do to people. This is how you are making people feel. You are judging them. You are not seeing them. You are not listening to them. And you do not feel with your heart. So I believe that I was put through this lesson of breast cancer to be treated the way that I was treating others, and to realize that that was not coming from a place of love. And so from that day that I realized that was my lesson that I learned, I still have the card that the gentleman gave me. And if you notice on all of my, little speeches that I do at the bridge or whatever, I always say, I see you and I hear you and I love you. And I just hope that people will take this, any opportunity or obstacle that we go through, good or bad, there's always a lesson to be learned. I try to dissect it down and find the good in all of it. What do I need to change about myself in order to be better, to be stronger, to be more open for people, to be available, to help, to give? That is our purpose in life is to give back. It's to be the light for someone else. It's not to be here and get all the glory and gratification and, look at me and put a fake smile on your face and pretend like everything's okay. And that was my lesson. It was a hard lesson learned, but let me tell you, my mouth don't talk like that anymore. And I see people. I really, really see people, and I feel with my heart even more so.
Well, it shows. It really shows, and what you speak is, about giving back to others is, what our mission is all about, and that's why, we connect so well. And I'm sorry you had to go through such a hard lesson to learn such a loving lesson. But we want to hear the rest of this story, but we got to break for a commercial real quick.
Okay.
You are listening to the 99% Radio Network here in Globe Life Park. We have Melinda Mclendon on the line telling us about her story and her journey through breast cancer. And we're going to hear more about what's upcoming this Sunday right after this.
Yes.
We all know that safety first, but you don't want to look like your parents are sending you on a bike ride. Here at Micro DOT Helmets, we're focused on lightweight DOT certified helmets that protect and still look great, so you don't have to look like that mushroom from Super Mario. If you do have an accident, we'll ship you a fresh new helmet. Real lifetime warranty, only at Micro DOT Helmets, a veteran-owned business.
Come on in and take a trip down memory lane in Garland, Texas at TLC on the Lake, located at 4881 Bass Pro Drive. Step in and enjoy our made-from-scratch meals. It'll make you feel like you're back in Grandma's kitchen. Our friendly staff is always ready to serve you and take care of your every need. Enjoy your meal on our outside deck while overlooking the beautiful views of Lake Ray Hubbard. If you're out with the family or hosting a corporate event, visit TLC on the Lake or give us a call at 972-203-8512.
Stepped up when our country needed them the most. We're seeing that same bravery from our frontline workers who risked their lives battling an invisible enemy. The sense of unity displayed in the days following 9/11 and during our current crisis exemplifies the strength of our national character and inspires us to honor the legacy of those lost as well as those who still lead the charge.
Hello, we are It's About the Kids Incorporated. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that operates out of Dallas, Texas.
Our mission is to focus on the kids of today who will become the youth of tomorrow and the adult of the future. Today, tomorrow, the future.
Empowering the community one family at a time. You can reach us at all social media platforms at It's About the Kids or online at www.itsaboutthekids.org, where we mentor a child, save a life.
Hi, this is Diane Marion Eunice, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. For the past 9 years, I have worked with over 300 couples in the areas of sexual health, communication, and conflict resolution. If you are interested in rebuilding connection and intimacy with your partner, please contact me today. I can be reached at 682-201-8175, or you can email me at diane@letstalkrelationships.org or visit my website at www.letstalkrelationships.org. And remember, you can't heal if you refuse to deal.
The 46th Annual Harambee Festival. This year's theme, Seeing the Future in Our Children. The festival will proceed on October 31st, 2020 as planned, just in a different format due to COVID-19. Local families and those from surrounding cities will receive free treat bags, care packages during the drive-through giveaway, and participate in early voting, starting at 10:30 a.m. until supplies last. Held at the MLK Jr. Community Center located at 2922 MLK Boulevard, Dallas, Texas, 75215. Donations are welcome. Be sure to follow us on Facebook for our live stream of music, poetry, culture, and more. For info, call 214-978-7164 or visit harambeedallas.org.
Here's today's STEM tip. Make your selfies look even better with science. Take your pics at golden hour right before the sun sets. The wavelengths made by the atmosphere create a perfect golden light for that beautiful face of yours. Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
Fishbowl Radio Network. FBRN.US. Jump in.
Welcome back to the 99% Radio Network here in Globe Live Park. You are listening to Mongo 12 and Sideshow. And we got Melinda Mclendon on the line talking about breast cancer awareness. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we want to make sure that we get those, get that voice out there to the women and men, because men can get breast cancer as well, to make sure that you find something, you feel something during a checkup, either a self-examination or through your doctor, to make sure you don't sit on it. And as scary as it may be, get the treatment that you need immediately. So welcome back, Melinda. How are you?
I am so good.
All right. So, the journey was tough. The battle was hard. I want to discuss the upcoming event that we have on Sunday, October 25th.
Yes.
Now,
So
go
I always try to find a walk to do. So I was pandering around in my mind, and Floyd and I were about to walk the bridge. And I said, we need to find a breast cancer walk to do. And we both looked at it. He's like, let's just do our own. And so that's kind of how we started it. So October the 25th, 10:30, we're going to meet at the bridge. Everybody wear pink. There is no cost or registration fee to do the walk. It is just basically you coming out and letting your voice be heard and us raising awareness for breast cancer. And I'm sorry, guys, but it's not about saving the boobs. It's about saving lives. Because boobs, let's be real, you can buy you some new boobs, but you can't buy you a new life. So that's just real talk. And then, John, you're going to shave your head, right?
Well, yeah. Right now, donations are being contributed through our listeners and through friends. And right now, the highest donation is with the bass player from Three Drunk Monkeys. He's got the highest donation so far, Mark Caruth. And whoever puts the highest donation in will be able to shave my head at the foot of the bridge. And
so just to update you, I believe that may have changed during the course of our show. I'm kind of thinking that you can verify, but I'm thinking that Renegade may have bumped that bid up there just a little bit.
We'll see.
Somebody has to shave your head.
I got an inside
and it's
tip.
not just shaving my head; it's bicking the head. I'm going 100% bald.
The suggestion has been that if he wins, if he maintains his lead there in the donation, that he's going to graciously allow Melinda to do the honors.
All right.
I think I'm reading that right. So.
Okay, that'll be good. At least I know it will be a gentle shaving.
You don't know that.
The big thing is, and not to take away from like the Susan B. Coleman walk or donations to breast cancer research. The money that it's being donated is going to go to a family or families, depending on how much money we raise, to help local families that are battling. Because, Melinda, while you're going through treatment, chemo and radiation knock you out. You don't feel like doing anything. You're tired. You're sick. So shopping, cleaning the house, paying bills, the things that you would do normally as a healthy person kind of build up and fall to the wayside, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even getting a ride to the doctor, getting from the house to the car, from the car to the hospital, like that was a chore. I forgot about everything else. There was no way. I had no energy. The mindset, I was exhausted. I was sick, couldn't eat. It is very, very draining. And you don't think about any of those other things that have to be done. If you don't have someone else there with you, a partner, someone that can help you, it's undoable. You can't do it by yourself. You just can't.
And there are people out there that have kids. The spouse may be overloaded running the kids back to because let's face facts. Life goes on where the kids still got to go to school. Kids still got to go to soccer and baseball practice and football practice, and so the spouse is now taking on almost a single parent role, running the kids around back and forth. So normal daily activities that we take for granted, such as cleaning the house or basic transport back and forth to the doctor, or sometimes bills slip. So if we can ease that burden on a family and let them focus on the healing process and not so much on the, oh my God, the dishes are piling up. Oh my God, the vacuum, the house has got to be cleaned. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get to the doctor. If we could take one of or two of those burdens off somebody that's battling, that is a huge, huge accomplishment.
Yes,
we
for
can
sure.
make towards them.
For sure. And even if it's a family that, say, the spouse is just kicking ass and he's handling all of it and he's doing great. Maybe, per se, she is really missing her hair and maybe we have the funds to buy her a wig to make her feel, as we women like to say, presentable and more beautiful and you know, it makes a difference. It really makes a difference.
Well,
So, I mean, any of those items that we could give back to help in any form or fashion, that's exactly what the money is going to go for. And I'm just truly blessed, and I really appreciate you doing this, John.
Well, I mean, here, let's get on to wigs for a second. You know, wigs are expensive, good wigs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They can run a couple of $100s for good fitted wigs. And, you know, think about this too. You know, people that are battling and people that are going through these treatments are still currently working. They do have to go to their jobs. So they are not only battling this illness, they are still trying to go to work and try to have some sort of normalcy. And like you brought up that you did not have a wig, you lost your hair, you lost your eyebrows, and at work you felt that uncomfortable presence of people speaking about you in the hospitality world. So just think about a person has to go to an office building every day. You know, people will start looking at them differently. Either they're going to give them that pity party, going, "Oh, look, she's battling cancer," or they're going to say, "Oh, what kind of statement is that person trying to make?" So if we can make them feel a little bit, get them a little bit back to normalcy by purchasing a good fitting wig, that helps tremendously in the healing process.
Yes, absolutely. Self-esteem and just giving them, you know, one more thing to look forward to in the day of getting ready and getting up and moving is very important in the healing process also. So yes, anything positive that we can do to help out a family, I'm all in.
Now, you're in remission for how many years?
7.
7 years. Now, you still go for your annual checkups, correct?
Oh, yes. Yes. And I have blood work done every 3 months. And with lupus on top of it now, they kind of are keeping a little closer eye on everything. So, yeah, everything's been good so far. I mean, I had a scare. I went in I thought I had a lump on one of my breasts and scheduled the mammogram. And then when we get there, they're like, "Oh, well, we found something in the other breast." And I'm like, what? You know, but come to find out it was nothing. But I was glad that I'd gone, because had I not, and it really was something in the other breast that I didn't even find, then I would have been able to jump on board and get something done to take care of it.
You were talking, Sideshow mentioned that men can get breast cancer too. While y'all were talking, I looked up some stats, and it's only about 1% of the population, but still over 2,000 men a year get breast cancer, and it said over 400 a year die.
Yeah,
400 men a year die of breast cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not. You know, this cancer doesn't discriminate between men and women. I mean, women are more prone to it, but just because you're a man, don't think that you cannot get it.
Yeah.
So, you know, once again, you know, as a man, self-examination is key. If you feel something, you know, it's not. Don't put it off. Go get it checked. Any kind of abnormal lump or hardness in your chest area that you don't think is normal, definitely see a doctor. Do not just put it off as, oh, it's a calcium buildup, or it's it's just something, maybe from working out, maybe I pulled a muscle or whatever. But go get that checked.
Yeah, cancer doesn't care what your age is either. So don't think just because you're in your 20s and your 30s that you are out of the realm of getting cancer or anything bad happening to you. Go get checked, save your own life, and help others. If somebody tells you, hey, I have a sore spot or whatever, coach them to go get checked. Tell them, I'll take you. Let's go. You better be safe than sorry, because if you wait too long, it'll be too late.
Right. And people turn around, and you bring up a great point, Melinda. People turn around and go, I'm in my 20s or 30s, and, cancer doesn't run in my family. That doesn't matter. The generational thing about cancer is, it could skip a generation. My mom, God rest her soul, she had a double mastectomy from breast cancer. So, I got to worry. My sisters got to worry. Thank God, they've had no scares, but who's to say, it's not gonna change. So,
Right.
The best thing to say is, and here's another thing, Melinda, is let's get onto insurance real quick, because a lot of people are out there battling insurance as well. No one's got the insurance. They can't afford some of the co-pays. What would be the best suggestion you can give to them in regards to going to get checked?
There are free clinics that you can go to. There are buses that are around town. You can Google it. I don't know the exact ones, but I'll find out and I'll post it on the link after the show. But you can go and they offer free mammograms. And I would take advantage of that if you don't have insurance. And also, I would just make an appointment and tell them you're going to pay cash. I'm just being honest with you. And then pay the copay or whatever and get your mammogram done. Get your x-ray done. I don't care if they have to bill you and you pay a penny a month, whatever you can afford, but it would be worth it to save your life other than saying that you don't have insurance.
Now, I'm not an expert on this field by no means. A mammogram should be done every year. Is it every 3 years, or how is that done?
Well, they say after you reach in your 40s, you're supposed to get them every year. So that's the new thing. But if you find something yourself, which you should be examining yourself every single time you're in the shower, every time you take a shower, if you are not in the shower and before you go to bed at night, you lay flat, you examine every area of your breast. And then any part
Can you have somebody else do that too?
You've been doing it wrong, Sideshow.
I'm just thinking, I can just turn around to Tigger and say, hey, I got to do an examination tonight. Melinda
right.
says do them every night.
Or let Tigger do it for you. Yeah, but just be sure to know your body. It's important to know your body. You're supposed to know your body better than anyone else. I mean, if you think about when you go to the doctor and you go in to tell them what is wrong, you have actually just self-diagnosed yourself. They come in, you tell them exactly what is wrong. They're not looking at you and able to tell what's wrong with you most of the time.
Right.
So you are self-diagnosing yourself. So you should know every part of your body better than anyone when it comes to what is supposed to be there and what's not supposed to be there.
Right, and that's something, another thing, people tend to hold things back from their doctors,
Yes.
because they're embarrassed, or they just say, oh, I'm just going to let it go, or, like most, they're just scared to find out the results. They think it's going to go away, and that's not the case with breast cancer. It's just going to get worse.
It will take your life. I mean, that's just hard talk. If there's something there and you're scared, yes, everyone is scared and scared of the results and scared what it may be. But why not go and see and make for sure, because it may be nothing. And then, too, it can save your life.
And the quicker the diagnosis, the quicker the finding, the best chances you have of survival, because there are new treatment options every single day. There are, many people who do beat breast cancer because of early detection, and that is probably the key to survival.
Yes, and two, we talked about age being a factor. People thinking, oh, I'm just, I'm not old enough for that. The fittest of the fittest get cancer. You could be eating just plain grass and not eating anything bad, and you be a fitness fanatic, and you can still get cancer. It doesn't care who you are and what you are doing. If it wants you, it's going to get you.
Yeah, so that's why this is so important. I'm so glad that you started this first annual Walk Ruck. And for those of you that are out there, I mean, I know we have a lot of veterans that listen. We have a lot of first responders that know what a ruck is. But for those who do not know what a ruck is, explain what that means, Melinda.
So a ruck is you're going to wear like a weighted vest or carry some sort of weight. Floyd and I do a quick run walk. We walk for a while, we run for a while. You can walk it or run it, combo together, but it's just that you are carrying some weight. And it symbolizes, if you think about it, all of our veterans that are committing suicide or contemplating it or being coached by the darkness, like I like to call it, or people that are going through breast cancer or struggling, they are carrying a heavy weight. They are carrying a burden. And so what is it for one day that we put on weight and we carry a burden and we feel just a little bit of suffering as they do. Maybe not in the same aspect, but it just symbolizes carrying weight.
That's what I thought it was, and that's exactly what we're going to do on Sunday the 25th at 10:30 at Heroes Memorial Bridge in Rockwall. Now, we were talking about, are we doing the full walk, the full 2-mile bridge, then coming back? How are we doing this? Is it different than walk the bridge?
Yeah, on that, it's just going to be what you want to do. If you want to go down a mile and come back, because there's going to be some folks that are going to be there that really aren't capable of possibly walking the whole 4 miles. So we'll kind of let them, we're going to tie balloons or something that they can see, pink balloons or something, where there's a half mile, a mile, and then the 2 miles, of course, and then back. So they can kind of make the alterations to what their body can and cannot do as far as walking the walk.
Okay, fantastic. So anything else, Melinda? I really thank you so much. I know you're at work doing this, and thank you so much for putting this together. Is there anything else you want to bring up? I just want people to show up. I want people to be a platform. I want people to use their voice, not only just for breast cancer, not just for suicide, but for any type of darkness that is coaching your life. Stand up, be a platform. Somebody needs you. Somebody needs to hear you. Just be that vessel. That's all I got. Well, once again, man, thank you so much for being a warrior and a voice and a loud voice. Because you are making a difference. You're making a difference to a lot of people that just can't stand up for themselves. And when someone can't stand up for themselves because of a sickness or they're battling, it's up to us as human beings to, grab them by the hand and say, hey, we'll carry you this part of the way until you're healed. So I can't thank you enough for organizing this and putting this together, and I look forward to being there on the 25th. So once again, Mike pinned it up on our page to make a donation. Click on that, and the highest donator will be able to shave my head that day on Heroes Bridge, and the money that we receive will go to help a family in the Rowlett or the Rockwall area that is battling, family or families. Our goal is $2,000. Let's try to exceed that by Sunday, and let's try to help out as many families as we can. Yes, agree. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's always fun with you guys. Melinda, thank you so much again. Tell Floyd hello, and we'll see you guys soon.
Take care, Melinda.
Yes, sir. God bless.
Bye, Melinda.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Once again, we've hit on a topic that affects so many people, so many lives. In a pandemic, can you imagine those? And people have been, people get diagnosed every single day with breast cancer. So think about the person that was diagnosed at the end of February, who not only has to deal with treatments and going through the mental anguish of having breast cancer, but going through this pandemic as well, feeling isolated, alone, and jumping through pandemic hurdles along with the breast cancer hurdles. So that's why it's so important to come out on the 25th and raise our voices loud enough so that we can show the support to those who have not only been battling, but jumping even more hurdles through the pandemic for the last 7 months.
So you're probably so motivated about this that you're going to go home and self-examine, right?
I self-examine every day. My man breasts. I
am not surprised.
I even pinch my nipples. No, when it's funny you say that, because not only, think about women with breast cancer, men got to think about testicular cancer, self-awareness on that as well, man. Young 20s and 30s, it's not uncommon. It's actually a quite common thing. So you want to make sure you check. And like Melinda said, man, any type of abnormality, any type of lump or, something that's not supposed to be on your own body, got to get checked. Got to make sure that it's not something that's going to grow into a life and death situation.
So I'm seeing here, this could be interesting. We'll have to figure out this Spectre, Grant Priest from Chaotic Angels LEMC over in London, just donated $262.
That's U.S. money?
U.S. money.
U.S. money?
Yeah, he says that's $262 U.S. dollars. So I don't know where things stand, but if he may be picking who gets to shave the head.
If he donated $262, which I thank you so much, Grant, for doing that. If that, I'm going to check it right now. Then he is in the lead. Let me see. Let me see.
Maybe we just buy a bottle in there and spray it on his head. Watch it all just fall off.
Does that
Did it update yet?
Yeah.
Hold on. It's coming all the way from London, so it hasn't updated yet on the website. I see Renegades did, and Renegade if he, I'll let you know that Renegade did beat out Mark.
Did he?
Yeah. So, but if Grant's does come up, he will definitely be in the lead on and then he can get to choose.
So then he gets to pick who shaves your head.
Yeah,
I think he should pick me and Mongo. Actually, though, it is kind of appropriate that, and I think if I were to win, I would pick Melinda too, Moon to do it. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah. Well, no, Grant Priest over in London. Thank you so much for that donation. This is where it has to go, man. I mean, we always want to try to raise as much money as we can for those who are battling, be it suicide or be it a cancer or a terminal illness. This is what we're all about. It's making a difference in somebody else's life. We could be, and we don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, conservative. We don't care what nationality you are. We don't care what sexual orientation you are. It's all about being a human being and just helping others get through a hard time in their life. And that's what I love about the 99% Radio Network, and that's what I love about Mad Radio is that, making a difference in someone else's life is fulfilling. It's healing.
And once again, it's someone from the 99% motorcycle world that steps up to make a difference, as you said.
That's right. Hold on. I'm looking again. I don't see it come in yet.
Well, it's got to go like 6,000 miles between here and there.
He sent that money by boat? No, I'm sure it will get in there very soon. And like I said, I can't thank everybody enough for the donations. Keep pouring in. I'm sure by Sunday we will hit our goal of $2,000. And remember, you don't have to donate a lot of money, but $5, $10, whatever a dollar. Donate $1, whatever you can. Just show your support in some way, and we will make some families get through their hard times together. It's all about us sticking together as human beings and helping out individuals.
Yeah.
If our government's not going to step in, and you know what, we the people have to. We have to take care of our own. But coming up is going to be Scott Huesing. I hope I'm saying his last name right. He is going to be he's a United States Marine, and he does the same thing, kind of what we do over here on another scale. He's got an organization called Save the Brave, and he's been traveling across the country, raising awareness for veteran suicides. And he's also an author of a book that's out. It's called Echo of Ramadi. And I'm not a veteran. I haven't read the book yet, but I plan to. Do you guys know anything about that was a mission, that was a battle?
That's where Chris Kyle. He was known as the Devil of Ramadi. There was a lot of hard fighting.
I think Echo was his company also. I think he was an Echo company.
He was in an Echo company?
I think. I could be wrong.
So, I mean, we're gonna hear about that from Scott probably just in a couple more minutes. We're going to give him a call. And actually, you want to just give Scott a call now and see if we can get him on the line a little early? Because I'm sure he's going to have a lot to talk about. He's doing good things in California and actually across the country. He works with a couple of people out here. We did the gun raffle for Save the Brave. We advertised that. They sold all their tickets. It's gonna be a video call on Skype.
He says it should be in.
Huh?
He says it should be in.
All right, we're gonna give Scott a call right now. Let's see if he answers. He's up in the wine country, I guess the Napa Valley area. So he said not all his internet's not the greatest over there. No answer yet. Let's see.
All right. So
I'm gonna text him real quick so you guys can just move on and keep talking.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
So do we want, while we're kind of waiting to fill in there, we'll talk about some events we got going on real quick.
Yep.
All right. So just as a reminder to the 99% Radio Network, tomorrow is the very first #Walk the Bridge event. It's not an event the same way that the breast cancer awareness ruck is at. That's kind of a special event. This is our monthly walk to raise awareness about the epidemic of veteran and first responder suicide, to promote solutions and alternatives to suicide through counseling, training, and peer support, and to provide that place of reflection and remembrance for the families and those affected. That's tomorrow night, the 22nd, at 18:30 at Heroes Memorial Bridge, and we'll gather as we always do on the Rockwall side.
This will be the first walk across the bridge. #Walk the Bridge as Heroes Memorial Bridge, right?
Yeah, it is.
Did you say that? I didn't. I wasn't.
I did.
Look, oh,
but
I'm
I
sorry.
know you're busy, but that's okay. So this is kind of it'll be a neat moment. A lot of work has gone into to get us to where we're at now. Then Saturday, the 24th.
Grand Priest's donation is in.
It's in, huh?
Yes, it is. $258 from Grand Priest over in London. Grant, thank you so much for that huge donation.
So tell little Texan Spaded to reimburse you.
Yeah.
So Saturday, a bunch of us will be meeting. A bunch of folks from the 99% Radio Network will be meeting up at Patriot Sandwich Company, David Jordan's business in Denton on the 288 Loop. We'll be riding up there to have some lunch and have a little informal meet and greet with some of the clubs from around North Texas and Southern Oklahoma. And I'm very happy. Our club, Third Watch LEMC, will be riding in with some folks from Iron Legacy up there. We're going to meet them in McKinney and ride in together, so it'll be nice to share that with them. Then Saturday night, the Southern Dogs 286 are having a bike night at VFW Post 5076 in Garland. They're on Meridian at Castle, and they always put together a really good time. And that's Saturday night. I think it starts at 7 until close. And then, of course, Sunday is the ruck.
Yeah, we got a busy week, and it's all about making a difference. It's all about getting people together and supporting those. I'm still waiting on Scott. You want to give Scott? He's active now on Facebook, so if you want to just give him another shout, try to hit him up on that Skype call. See if he answers. He may be trying to find a
place,
a better place to.
He's avoiding the flames.
Yeah, I think he's in Napa. He said wine country, so I guess that's the only.
Could be Sonoma.
Could be Sonoma. Oh,
okay. The two county or the two valleys run parallel.
So, just an update because he's still not answering. Right, Spectre saying that Lil Tex and Spaded, that donation is from the three of them.
Oh man,
and the Chaotic Angels LEMC. So
thank you guys.
They've been great supporters of the show. Lil Tex was our very first guest ever.
Yep. Which we should
going
be having
back.
that WOW program coming up soon, right?
Yeah,
The WOW 2. WOW 2.
So let's talk about the other program while we're waiting, because it also involves the Chaotic Angels. So we had mentioned on the air, I don't think we mentioned it last week, but we talked about it a few weeks ago. So Spectre, the Chaotic Angels over there in London, they've been working for a good while now on a program where they feed the hungry in cooperation or in conjunction with the Alexandria Palace, also known as the People's Palace over there. And it was about 3,000 a week. Now it's things because of COVID and the shutdown, money problems, everybody's got them. They're in a big crunch. So what's about a month ago, I guess, we came up with the idea to do something really crazy, and that is to do a benefit concert because they're locked down. In fact, we were talking with Spectre about how, as it's here in America, up over 20%. The suicide rate has gone among the population has gone up over 20%. It's gone up over there as well because everybody's locked down. So what we did is we reached out to some of the very best tribute bands in DFW. We reached out to Def Legend. We reached out to Blaze of Glory. We reached out to High Infidelity. We reached out to it's Despicable, right?
No, Sedated, which I saw.
Despicable.
Sedated.
Right?
I saw them last weekend at the Gas Monkey Grill, and they knocked it out of the park, man. What an amazing show. Felt like being at CBGB's back in Manhattan. You know, the remote as a Ramones tribute band, they did a phenomenal job. A lot of fun, a lot of high energy. So if you ever get a chance, look them up. Sedated here in Texas, man. Follow those guys because it's a fun concert. Yeah. It was really a fun concert to be at.
So all of those, Sedated and Three Drunk Monkeys, have all agreed in principle to participate in this benefit. So what we're doing right now is. We're not concert promoters by any stretch of the imagination, but we're learning because we want to help out our brothers over there in the UK, and so we've progressed to the point we got all the bands to commit in principle to do this. There'd be like quick sets where they play 6 or 7 of their songs just real quick over the course of an afternoon. And we're going to live stream it over to the Chaotic Angels and guests at the People's Palace at a theater there, and give them a little bit of relief. We'll be selling tickets at the door, maybe online. I don't know much about how to do that, but I can take a ticket at the door. We're looking at venues right now. We're working with the bands to try to get the logistical end out of it, but
that's going to be a lot of fun.
I can guarantee it'll be a hell of a party. That's
it will.
For damn sure.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we'll raise money on this end. We'll raise money on the UK end, and help out the People's Palace.
Yeah.
Once again, it's all about helping people globally. It's not. So we got no borders.
That's the cool thing about this show, because now we've worked with Spectre before on WOW 1. We're doing this, and WOW 2 I'm sure will be coming up pretty quick because it was just about this time last year. But we're also helping Preacher from Blue Deos over in Dublin, Ireland, with they're raising money to buy some specialized medical equipment for premature babies. And we're working with him on that as well, trying to raise up some money.
$3 donations from $3 donation.
And he said that if we are able to meet that goal, he'll donate that piece of equipment to the hospital there in our name.
Yeah.
And so it's a motivation. There's a lot going on. The 99% Radio Network with our worldwide reach now is able to get stuff done and help out these other clubs that have been good to us. They're faithful to watch the show every week and to step up and help out. I got some memories that popped up on Facebook just the other day. It was the memorial for the Jarheads MC, and it reminded me our very first charitable event.
Yeah.
Was to raise money for them. So.
Yeah, we're calling Scott now. I'll just let him know. We got him? All right.
Yeah, man.
Hey, welcome, Scott. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Scott, am I pronouncing your last name correctly? I'm sorry if I'm Huesing.
Huesing.
Okay.
Huesing.
Well, Scott's over in California.
You got the video open on your end?
What?
Is your video on?
We're getting it up now. The video should be coming up. Let's see if we got them on. Tell me when that video's up. Okay. Yeah, we'll be getting your video up in a second. Oh, there you go. Hey, Scott, how you doing? I know you can't see us, but we could see you unless unless you're watching it on your a different computer.
I cannot see you, but
that's all right. You don't want to see me anyway.
Especially next week when you don't have any hair and eyebrows.
That's right. You know, I met Scott here actually in Globe Life Park. He ran a benefit for Save the Brave, his organization. He traveled here from California, and you know, he's raising awareness for veteran suicides throughout the country. And I had the pleasure of meeting Scott and found out all the wonderful things he's doing and what he does to help out our veterans. So I commend your brother on everything you're doing. Tell us a little bit about Save the Brave.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on the show, guys. And I love being able to share this message too for SaveTheBrave.org.
So
this organization is between me and Nick Velez, who was one of my young Marines who fought under my command in Ramadi. And it was born out of tragedy. One of our Marines, a squad leader, Corporal Simon Lidke, committed suicide. And we just wanted to help. We wanted to do something. So instead of talking about it, we threw some money in the bank. Nick did all the work for the 501. And since beginning this journey over 5 years ago, almost 6 years now, we've helped over hundreds of veterans and Gold Star families, and also the families left in the wake of veteran suicide with assistance, financial support, networking. And one of the great things that's come out of this is we started doing outreach programs to connect veterans. And one of the most successful things has been our offshore fishing program out of Huntington Beach and San Diego out to the Channel Islands here in California. And it's just something that really stuck. We've had a lot of support from Stoked on Fishing, a massive YouTube channel, Stoked on Fishing with Shay McAtee, Andrew Pereira, Fox West Sports. So that's how we started. And, you know, we were talking about this earlier today because there's so many veteran nonprofits out there registered with the IRS, like over 45,000, I think, last count. But, you know, one of the things I will, it's worth mentioning, you know, you said I travel around the country and do this for veteran suicide awareness. I don't do it for suicide awareness. I do it for suicide prevention.
Sorry.
And prevention, yeah, and I'm not correcting you. I'm just saying that there is a vast differentiation in terms when you're talking about raising awareness for something and preventing it. We're all about stopping veteran suicide or stemming it at least. I mean, the number's never going to be zero. You know, you see the push-up challenge. I'm like, man, take your push-ups and you know, whatever, man. Like, yeah, hey, it's great. It's a noble effort. I'd rather see people donate $22 a day. How about that? How about do something that really hurts? Because charity's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to hurt a little bit. It's supposed to, you know, make you give more of yourself. So we want to have the resources so we can really change lives. And that's, I think, what we're doing as we continue to grow every year, whether it's riding my motorcycle across the country and back, which is how I met you guys, or taking veterans out fishing, or helping Gold Star families. Everybody's doing their part that care. And that's the most important thing to me of those people that are on the Save the Brave team and our volunteer network and those donors is they care. I mean, there's no other word that describes.
Oh, we lost audio.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was somebody else too.
Oh,
I just stopped talking.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
We got you back. We lost your audio for a second, Scott.
Oh yeah, I just stopped talking when I was talking about people that care.
You bring up a great point where the difference between awareness and prevention, and I love what you said, is that we discuss this a lot. There's a lot of smoke and mirror programs out there. There's a lot of people that will scream, "Hey, we got to stop it. We got to stop it." But they don't really want to put the boots on the ground. They want to, sit on their couch and just share things off the internet. You and Save the Brave are actually out there, and programs like your fishing program and other programs that you put in place, believe it or not, is such a healing therapy, and it's therapeutic for all our veterans to get out there and share their experiences and their stories with other veterans. So yeah, that's a huge prevention factor in saving the lives of our veterans, connecting them and just getting boots on the ground to on different programs. Could you hear me, Scott?
Came in a little broken, but
well, I was just saying that
boots on the ground.
Your boots on the ground, and that's what it takes in a prevention program. It's therapeutic to get out there and go fishing with other veterans. I mean, we do that when we walk the bridge. It's therapeutic. It's out there. It's being a part of something. It's not just, like you said, not just doing 22 push-ups. Not that I'm disregarding that, but it's not like just doing 22 push-ups on a video to raise awareness. You're out there. These guys can talk to each other.
I've said it before on air. What does it do? What does 22 push-ups do? I mean, it helps people individually for their fitness program. Great. I support fitness. But what is it doing? Are they raising money through it? Are people donating? Are people getting out of their house and connecting with veterans and letting them know that they care? I don't know. I think it's a symbolic gesture that is empty. I don't know who started it. I'm not bashing on anyone. Again, I love fitness. I like PT, but I just don't know what it really does. I just think there's so many other viable, tangible ways to connect. And you're right. The boots on the ground is important. And we're conscious of that as we continue to grow as an organization, because as an executive director, I absolutely need to stay at the 30,000 foot level to be effective and run the company, so we can have donors, so we can have resources, so we can take veterans fishing. It doesn't erase the fact that I still want to go out and fish with them, or I still want to go to events for people that support us, but I can't do that realistically all the time. And it's important as we grow as an organization. How big is too big? How big is your annual operating budget that you become so disconnected that you're really not making a difference, or at least the difference you want to make in the population that you serve? And I've already outlined who it is we care about, and that's veterans, their families, our Gold Star families. Because when you lose a Marine or a soldier to suicide or to combat or military service-related death, those families, they live with that the rest of their lives. They're always a part of that. And I think it's equally important to stay connected to those folks. And if people want to help, that's how you do it. Go to savethebrave.org and click on monthly recurring donation, or donate at one amount, or email us at info@savethebrave.org and tell us how you can help, or tell us how you want to volunteer your time. Because again, charity's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard.
Right.
Are that you become
yourself and help others, and you're helping yourself.
Or that you become so big you lose focus on the mission and become enthralled with the trappings of your position, where you get caught up in the amount of money that you're bringing in and all the nice things that brings, but the guy on the ground, the Marine, the sailor, the airman, the soldier aren't getting the care, that one-on-one care, that peer support, or you pay lip service to it. And again, we're all about this mission. We don't want to be bashing anybody, but what he just said, there's truth to that.
Well,
there's real truth to that.
Just like with Save the Brave, going out on these the fishing trips, that's therapeutic for every veteran. And it's like Warriors Keep. Warriors Keep goes out and they take a bunch of veterans, and last year they went and they climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. They grabbed like 24 veterans and they climbed that mountain, and that right there is boots on the ground. Those 24 men bonded, making that climb. The men that Scott takes out on a fishing trip, those men bond. They share. They heal together. They don't heal by watching a video of somebody doing 22 push-ups. They heal by being together and getting out on the water and discussing and feeling each other's pain. And they share their battles. And that's the healing process. That's the therapeutic part of it.
John, if there's veterans listening, make no mistake about it. It is therapy to go out and fish, but when we leave the dock and the cell phones are cut off and they're disconnected from social media, they're connected to each other, but we're not out on this massive fishing charter or fishing boat telling war stories or boozing it up or feeling sorry. We never focus on the sadness. We want these guys to, one, be connected, enjoy themselves, and really experience what, to me, I realized later rather than sooner that when you go offshore fishing, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for most people, and I'm just fortunate to do it kind of whenever I want because of the network I'm connected to. But it's kind of life-changing or life-altering, I think, for a lot of these veterans, and they see that, I'm just like these guys. I'm still connected to these guys, but it's not this boozy party cruise where we're out, crying in our beer, because we never want to focus on the sadness. We want to focus on not what you did, but what are you doing now? What are you going to do in the next 5 years to continue to support this organization and support our veteran tribe? That's the challenge we give to these guys. And let me share a story with you, because I won't mention any names, but I get a phone call. This is just a couple days ago. One of our own hit a really bad place, drinking himself silly, where it's affecting his job, his family. He's surrounded by these guys. And one of the things we do is talk to each other. And I don't have a PhD on my wall, but I said to him, I said, listen, man, if you're looking for pity, you called the wrong number. I said, don't call my number if you want pity. I said, because I'm telling you what you need to do. You need to stay surrounded by the guys who love you. And those two guys that are with you right now that made you call me, hug them. Don't fight them, because they're trying to help you right now. I said, but I'm not here to give you pity. You need to sort yourself out and realize that this group of people, this network within Save the Brave and our veteran tribe, we care about you. And the good news part of this story is now that guy is currently, as we speak, in a 30-day treatment program where he can help himself recover and get back on track and learn from this. Right. So, this is one of the good news stories that, just when you think you may not be making a difference, you're making a difference. You're making an impact on people's lives, and it works to whatever degree. Those are the best metrics of success that we are exposed to.
Now, no, I couldn't agree more with you. There's no room for a pity party, and it's always to just keep moving forward and, getting those guys to get their lives back together, and that's exactly what it's all about. We can't live in the past. We got to look towards the future. So right now, and I saw on your Facebook page, it was a mortgage company that was making some donations. You got a fundraiser going on right now, or is that a constant thing?
It's through First Team Realty Group, First Team Real Estate. They are part of the Army 10 Miler, which is normally run in Washington, D.C. every year. And they reached out to us, and Soldier Strong said, hey, we want you to be the benefactors of this year's fundraiser and event. So we went up to glorious Victorville, California, in Apple Valley. We met the folks. We supported them as just a handful of people ran the race because of COVID. That was all social distance, but we had a presence. We got connected, and they're accepting donations through First Team Real Estate. Bruce is at his phone. He gave his personal phone number on that message, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because that's how. Yeah, I mean, who does that, man?
I know.
He's amazing. So they've raised over $10,000, and they're taking donations until the end of the month.
Do you have the website that they can donate
they're
to?
They're going to provide half of the proceeds to both veteran charities.
Do you have the website that we can donate to?
There's no website. It's just Bruce's phone on that video on at Echo and Ramadi, or I posted the video at Save the Brave Facebook page. You can find it at Echo and Ramadi Facebook page. You can find it on my personal page. Okay. And I think it's been shared to 20 or other
so you can just
other
pin
pages.
SaveTheBrave.org on there. This way people can find it. This way they can make donations till the end of the month through this program that the Realty Group is doing. They're accepting donations through the end of the month.
Yeah, first real estate, and it's Bruce. I mean, Bruce is the guy. It's one person that has raised all this money, and his support staff at First Team. So, Bruce, if you're listening to this, man, by whatever stroke of luck, thanks, and to everybody that came out and supported that day. But that's one of many opportunities that we try to become a part of that just show how willing people are to give more of themselves to help others, and that was a great example on Saturday or Sunday when we did that run.
Now, your tour that you came through here through Texas on from California, I don't know, did you go right back to California after you hit here, or did you keep going?
Yep. We left Dallas Fort Worth. From Chad, we rode over to Chad Prather's studio, did the show. He wanted to go out and grab lunch. I'm like, nah, I got to hit Pecos by dark. So I hopped on the bike, rode another 530 miles to Pecos, and then Tucson, and then back to Temecula, California. So it was 16 days, 5,150 miles total. And, that's where we met. And I met thousands of other people along that journey. And we raised, I think last time I checked, like $35,000, which was amazing.
That's
because
fantastic.
It just started off as a mode of transportation, as you know. And I'll be back down in Dallas Fort Worth, by the way. We need to set a date because one of the guys, Eric Hicks, who owns Blackstone Arms, who's also a firefighter in Argyle.
Yep.
He built that custom rifle, and we are going to draw the winner live on Instagram and Facebook on a date to be announced. But I'm gonna fly back down there, do that presentation live, and announce the winner.
Well, if you would like, the 99% Radio Network would, when you want to do that, you are more than welcome to use our platform here in the studio to announce the winner. You can come here. We broadcast every Wednesday night, so if that is in line with your date, you can do it right from here from the studio.
Okay, well, we might take you up on that. I think right now they're trying to do another big event at Marty B's place in Bartonville, but you'll get the invite for sure, guys. Whatever we figure out, you'll be a part of it.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but I want to come back. I just want to discuss your book before we close out.
Sure.
All right, so just about 3 minutes. We're going to just break for a quick commercial, and we'll be back. This is the 99% Radio Network. We are on air with Scott Huesing of California, Save the Brave. And we're going to get back and talk about his book, Echo.
From Ramadi.
From Ramadi. I can't even speak. But right after this.
We all know that safety comes first, but you don't want to look like your parents are sending you on a bike ride. Here at Micro DOT Helmets, we're focused on lightweight DOT certified helmets that protect and still look great, so you don't have to look like that mushroom from Super Mario. If you do have an accident, we'll ship you a fresh new helmet. Real lifetime warranty, only at Micro DOT Helmets, a veteran-owned business.
Grow your audience and influence? Then contact Fishbowl Radio Network today at 817-633-4880. Fishbowl Radio Network is one of the largest streaming platforms in the world. And now your podcast can be heard all over the world by the listening audience that Fishbowl Radio Network has amassed over the last 11 years. With over 6 million impressions a month and growing, this is a platform that all podcasters should be on to create greater visibility for their podcast. Jump in today and be a part of the Fishbowl family, streaming great live internet radio shows and podcasts 24/7. 817-633-4880. Jump in.
On September 11th, 2001, nearly 3,000 Americans lost their lives, including hundreds of first responders who stepped up when our country needed them the most. We're seeing that same bravery from our frontline workers who risked their lives battling an invisible enemy. The sense of unity displayed in the days following 9/11 and during our current crisis exemplifies the strength of our national character and inspires us to honor the legacy of those lost as well as those who still lead the charge.
Hello, we are It's About the Kids Incorporated. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that operates out of Dallas, Texas.
Our mission is to focus on the kids of today who will become the youth of tomorrow and the adult of the future. Today, tomorrow, the future.
Empowering the community one family at a time. You can reach us at all social media platforms at It's About the Kids or online at www.itsaboutthekids.org, where we mentor a child, save a life.
Ladies, I'm excited to tell you about a new resource that features universal life advice. Ladies Life Guide is here for women who are working to reach all their life goals while continuing to find their own strength and voice. Log on to ladieslifeguide.com.
We all know that safety comes first, but you don't want to look like your parents are sending you on a bike ride. Here at Micro DOT Helmets, we're focused on lightweight DOT certified helmets that protect and still look great, so you don't have to look like that mushroom from Super Mario. If you do have an accident, we'll ship you a fresh new helmet. Real lifetime warranty, only at Micro DOT Helmets, a veteran-owned business.
This year's theme, Seeing the Future in Our Children. The festival will proceed on October 31st, 2020 as planned, just in a different format due to COVID-19. Local families and those from surrounding cities will receive free treat bags, care packages during the drive-through giveaway, and participate in early voting, starting at 10:30 a.m. until supplies last. Held at the MLK Jr. Community Center located at 2922 MLK Boulevard, Dallas, Texas, 75215. Donations are welcome. Be sure to follow us on Facebook for our live stream of music, poetry, culture, and more. For info, call 214-978-7164 or visit HarambeDallas.org.
Here's today's STEM tip. Make your selfies look even better with science. Take your pics at golden hour right before the sun sets. The wavelengths made by the atmosphere create a perfect golden light for that beautiful face of yours. Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
Fishbowl Radio Network. FBRN.US. Jump in.
I like that beat music.
All right, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network, broadcasting you live from Fishbowl Radio Network studios here in Globe Life Park, the heart of the entertainment district in Arlington, Texas. We have Scott Huesing on the line from California. He is the founder of Save the Brave, a veteran organization that combats and prevents veteran suicide. He is also an author of a book, The Echo of Ramadi. Scott, welcome back. Can you hear us?
All right, we're doing it. I like your theme music, by the way, the Harley. That's
yeah, it's
good.
all Three Drunk Monkeys, man. Three Drunk Monkeys. Cut that for us. So Scott, tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, Echo in Ramadi is the firsthand story of U.S. Marines in Iraq's deadliest city. It came out in February of 2018, so it's been out, about 2.5 years now, and we've had a lot of success with the book. It's been a #1 bestseller. 4 times over, and got from the success book, because the whole reason I wrote it was, one, to honor the Marines and soldiers and families that supported us while we fought, and those that still support us today. And the second reason was to illustrate a very significant point in history during this current war in Iraq that I think had largely fallen in the shadows of other significant battles of the war on terror. So those were the two reasons why I wrote the book. And now that it's been a while, and we've sold tens of thousands of copies, and it's just been overwhelming. What's most remarkable, guys, about Echo and Ramadi is that you look at the book and you see this this badass Marine on the cover. It looks like he's going to kick your door in and do bad things to you, which mistake Marines are very capable of doing. But the book it's not about war. It's about people, and these amazing people that I fought alongside, and the families, and they are really the characters that sit at the front of the stage. And all of the fighting and all the friction and all the sexy stuff you think of war, that is really just a backdrop now to this story as it's continued to grow and reach not just military and veterans, because I'm very honored that they read it and they love it, but more impressed and more humbled by the fact that so many other people, the other 99% who've never served, read this story and get an understanding of what it's like for these young men and women who serve our country. And to see that experience through my lens and to be able to share that with them is something that's really been remarkable for me. And it's probably the best part of being able to share a part of history, a part of myself, because I do share all the things that I went through as well, and that was important to me as an artist. And I think that we've just really scratched the surface on how many people we can reach with these military stories of heroism. And that's the theme of the book. It's the power of human connection. And Echo in Ramadi is a story of leadership and team building and overcoming adversity and people, because being in the military, being a Marine, is a people business. And that was the secret to our success. It's the secret to my success now as an author and as a businessman, as a public speaker, is connecting with people. And that's illustrated pretty much on all the stories on every page of Echo and Ramadi that really came through. So that's a long answer to a short question, but it was a big part of my life writing that book.
And that's what I think a lot of people will enjoy the book, why people will enjoy the book. If you haven't read it, if you haven't ordered it yet, I think you should get it, because it's not like Scott says, it's not a typical shoot 'em up type of war book. It tells about the people involved in it. It gets into their soul. It tells you the personalities of these people, these Marines, and it personalizes everything about what our military soldiers feel, what their inner souls are about. And it's not just a book about war. It's about the people that are protecting our nation.
Yeah, I'll share a story. When I was writing the book and I got about to the phase where I was completed, I got my freelance editor. She started reading it and she'd done several edits. We went back and forth to the point where I was so ingrained in telling the factual parts of the story, and so fascinated by stories other Marines and soldiers and family members had told me. I don't know if I've ever shared this or not, but it'll be a first for you. She called me one night. It was late, and we had a deep discussion. Flat out, she said, Scott, there's not enough of you in this book. Like, we need more you. And I think that comes from largely being a Marine, although we're never often accused in public of being humble creatures. I think we deep down, we must be, because we like to help others more than ourselves. But she said, there's not enough of you. So I really had to take a hard look at the work, and figure out what part of me needed to be shared, either in parts or in whole. And that's a tough thing to do. And I'm not saying everybody has to do that. I'm not saying every veteran has to do that, spill their guts into 300 pages and park it on the shelf at Barnes & Noble or on Amazon. But it's a decision that I did, guys. And by making myself vulnerable, by sharing my failures more so than the wins in my life, I think that the men who I was privileged to serve with now had an opportunity to see me more as a human, and their leader, and what makes up great leaders. And also to people who just pick up the book for the first time, understand these are the things people expect from their leaders. And in the end, that was a decision I made, and I'd have zero regrets doing it, regardless of what people may think about me as a person. That was my decision. But there's a lot of ways to communicate that, but this was mine.
And was that a healing process for you as well, to take some of that and put that on pages?
No, I get asked that question often. Was it some catharsis, or did I feel healed? I don't think so. I think it was a part of what needed to be done for me. So maybe if I had a decent shrink, they would say, yeah, it was definitely a part of your healing process. But the thing that sustains me, guys, the thing that probably continues to propel me forward is helping others. I think it's a calling that I have, that I'm not helping myself if I'm not helping other people. It's just how I'm geared. That doesn't mean I give everything away for free. I'm also a big proponent of having veterans understand what their value is, and don't give it away for free. Don't always do stuff for free for companies and organizations like, oh, will you come speak and do this? Will you write this for me? Will you build this for me? They view veterans sometimes, since we led a life of service to others, that we're just going to automatically do it free. So it's kind of one of those things where, no, it wasn't this big catharsis for me, but I've learned so much about myself and about other people, and about how to value your craft and what it is you're good at. And I'm lucky. I have that capacity to share my story and to share other stories. Not everybody has that, and I'm fortunate to do that. So how long will I do that? Who knows? Maybe I'll do it the next 6 months or 6 years or 60 years. I don't know. But I'm very fortunate to have that capacity to share that part of me and to let others see that, because not everybody has that capacity to make that distinct impact on others who probably wouldn't have the opportunity to see behind the curtain of what the military's done or what our veteran tribe is active in today. So I think the answer to your question is short, no, but helping others is really the best part of this whole journey for me.
You know, I take that so to heart, what you just said, man. That is such a true statement on know your value. Because, man, as you know, servicemen, military veterans, along with first responders, they're cut from a cloth of God, a certain cloth that is a giving cloth. You know, so people sometimes expect everybody to give stuff for free. But to know your value, know your worth, you know, don't let people take advantage of you because of your giving personality. And you know, I respect that so much, Scott, that you say that, because a lot of people do not see that, and they feel because you've given to this country, you've given everything, that you should keep giving. Well, yeah, you're more than willing to share, you're more than willing to give, But you know what? My time, my service is at a value. I got to hold myself at a certain standard, and I respect that.
Yeah.
And that is such a true statement, because so many people take advantage of our veterans.
You know, yeah, I share that advice or philosophy, and the thing is, I wish I could share it more. And sometimes I feel because I'm in a position that I am, you know, I'm retired. I have a couple of sets of income. You know, I managed to leave the Marine Corps after 24 years with more than a 19-inch TV set and a pair of cowboy boots as well. Guys that don't have the ability to say no. So whether someone you know, there's been plenty of opportunities where, you know, I've passed on $50 or $500 or $5,000, and I had to say no because it wasn't worth it to me. And I said no, not because I didn't want the money. I said no to the guy who needs the money. Like, by me saying yes to those things and taking a gig for something I'm worth way more than, I'm not doing those other guys any service. And I really wish there were more guys that had the ability to say no to these opportunities where, you know, hey, John Salerno wants you on the radio show. Like, hey, great. All of his other guests have gotten $1,000 to appear. This is hypothetical to those listeners. But then there's going to be this one young guy's like, oh, John Salerno invited me on the show. Isn't that cool? I'm like, yeah, did you get your $1,000? Oh, no, you didn't tell me that. So there's these people out there that will leverage their celebrity or their corporate wealth or their corporate status to really kind of take advantage of the veteran community. And I think you guys probably have seen some examples of that. I think it's an important message to share. And for those listening or anyone who's ever thought, hey, man, Scott, you took a bunch of Marine stories and you wrote a book about it and you're making money out. Hey, guess what? You don't get rich selling books unless your name is Tom Clancy. Okay. And oh, by the way, a portion of the proceeds of my book are donated to SaveTheBrave.org. That's how committed I am to helping veterans. It's not about the money for me. So it's a lesson learned throughout this journey. But yeah, continue to get guests on the show, guys, that can reinforce that, and I think we'll continue to bang that drum and help more people.
Well, Scott, we're gonna keep supporting Save the Brave. We're gonna support you and your mission because, like I said, it's all about the mission and not really money. Know your worth, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to come on. And you know, Eric Hicks is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and like I said,
Yes.
whatever he needs as well, please let us know, and we'll help get the word out.
I will. You guys definitely. I'll look you up next time in Dallas. And for listeners, if you want to get a copy of the book, go on Amazon today. Type in Echo in Ramadi, Scott Huesing, and buy a copy. If you bought a copy, please go on Amazon, leave a 5-star review. All of that helps continue to share this story. So drop your 5-star review on Amazon or go to Barnes & Noble, go to Amazon. It's on Audible, Kindle, hardcover, softcover, you name it. If they could print out a roll of toilet paper and it would sell more of this story, I wouldn't care. They do a great job for me at Regnery and Amazon. They're doing great things. So I'm so grateful for all the support from you guys. And anything I can ever do for you, please let me know.
Same here, brother. And stay safe. And like I said, man, when you're in Dallas, look us up. You got a home here. So thanks again.
Hey, thanks, guys. Semper Fi.
Take care.
Semper Fi, Scott.
Man, that was Scott Huesing with Save the Brave. Man, that's a powerful statement. He really hit it on the head with know your value, because a lot of us in the giving world, you know, sometimes forget that. You know, there are shady characters out there that will take advantage of a veteran or a first responder to line their own pockets. And I think Scott's message out there is quite clear. Man, that's pretty powerful. Know your value, you know, and pick and choose your battles, you know. So thank you very much, Scott. And we're gonna put out a thing on his book. You could pick that up at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Check it out. I think it's a very good read. Well, once again, the highlight of the show the Mongo Log.
Mongo! Santa Maria!
I'll believe it. And maybe one of you friends and neighbors kind of gather around and holy shit!
Here comes Mongo!
All right, everybody. Well, we've got 2 more weeks, and it's going to be all political stuff for me, so I apologize, but that's just the way it is because I write these things. So, no news is good news. The media willfully ignores a potential Hunter Biden scandal involving presidential candidate Joe Biden. Recently, a Senate Intelligence Committee report detailed how the son of a major presidential candidate, Joe Biden, has had an extensive history of shady foreign business dealings and received a $3.5 million wire transfer from the wife of a Russian politician. The New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, and most major media outlets didn't cover the wire transfer story at all. 4 years ago, not reporting such a story was a possibility too absurd to even contemplate. But then again, no one would have predicted the candidate with the shady Russia ties is not Donald Trump, but Joe Biden. People often talk about how Trump is responsible for destroying political norms, and that's a valid concern. However, one of the truly frightening things about the Trump era is how institutions have exploited a perceived crisis in truth-telling to justify abandoning their own standards by blaming it all on Trump. Increasingly, we see major stories break where the media establishment decides on a collective story because the story will undermine its own credibility or might sway voters in a direction it doesn't approve of. When that happens, no news is good news. The problem with hiding the truth is that you can't suppress it forever, let alone for a week in this news environment. After the initial blackout, we are finally starting to see some of the coverage of the Hunter Biden's suspect wire transfer, but only after Trump himself raised the issue at the recent presidential debate and forced the media's hand. The little coverage the issue has received is instructive and not in a good way. When Trump raised the issue at the debate, Joe Biden responded by saying the claim was totally discredited. Totally discredited. Given that it's a direct allegation in a government document and Biden is flatly denying it, you'd think that this would be a perfect opportunity for the media to dig in and sort out some of the truth of the claim. Instead, they've essentially punted on the issue. This is the problem with receiving your news from a single news source. The news sources today don't relate the facts and allow you to make a decision on your own. They distort the facts and tell you what to believe. If you are not willing to research a story on your own from multiple sources, there's really no fair way to evaluate the information you are being fed. We no longer live in the era of Walter Cronkite delivering the news and allowing you as an individual to evaluate the validity of the story. We are now being told the propaganda that the media outlet wants you to hear and expects you to believe. New evidence has come up in the Biden scandal. While Biden and his people evade questions, Democrats and many of their willing acolytes in the media have been doing everything they can to spin the influence peddling scandal surrounding Joe Biden and his son Hunter. After the New York Post story of Hunter's laptop dropped, the left tried to claim that it was somehow Russian disinformation. This, of course, made no sense as there was nothing to link Russia to any part of the story about the laptop. But it was all more ironic given the fact in the face of the 2016 election, it was Democrats, the DNC, and the Clinton team who paid for what was likely Russian disinformation to undermine a political opponent. There were already a lot of indications that the laptop and the emails were real, from verified email addresses, pictures and videos of Hunter Biden, even people of an email thread verifying the email. But now Rudy Giuliani has made their spin just a little bit harder. Rudy Giuliani has posted a tweet that the Hunter Biden hard drive has been authenticated by the New York Post and Rudy Giuliani's attorney, Bob Costello, as well as the receipt itself signed by Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's attorney, George, and I think it's Miseries, at least that's the way I say it, George Miseries, contacted the merchant the day before the story broke, asking for the computer back. At this point, it's getting more than difficult to spin this as Russian disinformation unless Democrats are going to claim that attorney George Miseries and Hunter Biden himself are both Russian agents too. But they are still trying, despite the fact that it makes no sense and all the facts have piled up against it. Meanwhile, Joe Biden himself has refused to entertain questions about the scandal and has failed to even deny that the laptop was Hunter's. Biden previously attacked the first reporter to ask him about it, Bo Erickson, and accused him of a smear campaign. Biden has completely refused to answer questions regarding the computer and stomped off when reporters tried to ask. Now Biden has even gone into hiding until the debate, hoping to avoid questions. At this point, the Democrats can't deny the laptop was Hunter's. So you may be asking, what does any of Hunter Biden's computer have to do with the presidential race? Top GOP lawmakers have asked the FBI if it had Hunter Biden's laptop last year during Trump's impeachment. More than a dozen GOP members of the House of Representatives have asked the FBI to reveal if the agency was in possession of the laptop that contains emails between Hunter Biden and top officials at a Ukrainian energy company during impeachment proceedings against President Trump. The 19 GOP lawmakers sent a letter to the FBI Thursday arguing it would have been a gross error in judgment if the agency had the material but withheld it from the Trump's legal team. If the FBI was in fact in possession of this evidence and failed to alert the White House to its existence, that would have given even more weight to the president's legal defense. This was a gross error in judgment and is a severe violation of trust, states the letter, which was published by Fox News. The letter comes a day after the Post published a report that indicated Hunter Biden introduced his father, then Vice President Joe Biden, to a top executive at a Ukrainian energy firm, Burisma. Joe Biden's campaign said there's no record of such a meeting in his schedules. The Post report stated the FBI had control of the laptop in December 2019 during impeachment proceedings against Trump. A large portion of the president's legal defense case revolved around the strong evidence that former Vice President Biden's son Hunter was peddling his influence with his father to land lucrative jobs overseas that he might not have had otherwise been qualified for. In a bombshell report from the New York Post, the claim is made that back in 2015, Hunter Biden introduced his father to a top executive at Ukrainian energy company Burisma. This introduction occurred less than a year before Vice President Biden successfully pressured the Ukrainian government into firing the prosecutor who was investigating Burisma by threatening to withhold a $1 billion loan unless they did so. The Post reports that the never-before-revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation that Vadim Polzharsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, allegedly sent Hunter Biden in April 17, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma board. Hunter Biden was reportedly making over $80,000 a month. I wish I was making $80 million.
Yeah.
Anyway, $80,000 a month to serve on the board of the company, despite having no experience in the energy sector, raising questions about whether his position was actually about getting access to Obama White House. In one of many emails seized by the FBI from the computer in May of 2014, Hunter Biden was asked for advice on how you could use your influence on behalf of the company. In an email from April of 2015, a portion of the email reads, "Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure." The emails were found amongst a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop computer that had been dropped off, possibly by Hunter Biden, at a repair shop in Delaware. Last year, Joe Biden claimed, "I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. No one has indicated that I have." But this insistence that he was in the dark about Hunter's Ukraine business dealings was contradicted by Hunter himself. according to an article in New Yorker from July of 2019 titled, "Will Hunter Biden Jeopardize His Father's Campaign?" The former vice president did discuss overseas business dealings with his son. A photo obtained by Tucker Carlson tonight, back in October of 2019, also showed Joe Biden and his son Hunter golfing with Burisma Holdings board member Devon Archer. The photo was taken in August, a few months after Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma. This occurred during the Council on Foreign Relations meeting in Washington, D.C. in January 2018. Joe Biden infamously bragged about his role in the firing of then Prosecutor General Victor Shokin, who was investigating Burisma. Biden said, "I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee, and I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from," I hate these names, Yatsenyuk, that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't." And this is still part of a quote. "But they said they had, and they were walking out to a press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to go. We're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president." Biden's response to this statement was, "Call him," referring to President Obama. "I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion, Biden repeated. "You're not getting the billion." Biden then said, "I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money." Biden then bragged to the cameras, "Well, son of a bitch, he got fired." For his part, Biden argued that his actions were above board because he was carrying out the official policy of the Obama administration to root out corruption in Ukraine. He said it was fully transparent policy carried out in front of the whole world and fully embraced by the international community of democracies. The corruption claims against Shokin were dubious, and Shokin filed a federal complaint in Ukraine against Biden, charging he abused his power. Shokin also noted that his ouster effectively ended the investigation into Burisma. No active investigation into offenses concerning the company Burisma Holdings Limited was carried out, and therefore the persons implicated in these offenses were not identified, nor arrested, nor charged. Shokin explained, in other words, thanks to Biden, Burisma and his son Hunter were off the hook. Is anything that Joe Biden did related to his son and Burisma Holdings illegal or unethical? It's really hard to tell since none of the major newspapers or networks followed up on the story. I'm going to take a swag on this one, and that's a scientific wild-ass guess that had this been Donald Trump and any of his children, the media and every investigative committee in the House of Representatives would be holding hearings. Well, that's rude.
Yeah, answer it. Hey, welcome to the 99% Radio Network. You're on the air. Hello? Oh, another bill collector.
Disinformation by the Joe Biden campaign to keep me from telling this story.
That must have been Hunter Biden calling.
Oh, man. They will stop at nothing to keep this information suppressed. So, I'm going to take a swag on this one, and that's a scientific wild-ass guess that had this been Donald Trump and any of his children, the media and every investigative committee in the House of Representatives would be holding hearings nonstop until Election Day. There's a photo that shows former Vice President Joe Biden posing with his son Hunter and Devon Archer, who served with Hunter on the board of Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma Holdings during a 2014 golf outing in the Hamptons. Joe Biden told Fox News that he never talks with his son about his foreign business interests. Biden emphasized, "I have never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings, but I know Trump deserves to be investigated. He is violating every basic norm of the president. You should be asking him why he's on the phone with foreign leader, trying to intimidate a foreign leader. You should be looking at Trump." I say that's ridiculous. Looking at Trump for what? That just seems like a deflection. You, Biden, played golf in 2014 with your son Hunter, as well as other board members of Burisma Holdings. It looks like the money... Well, I did not proofread this part because I messed this part up. Looks like the money to have Hunter on their board of directors actually paid off. They got access to the Vice President of the United States. Did they ever talk business while on the golf course? Of course not. That would be unethical. They probably exchanged recipes and debated who would advance to the World Series. How completely unethical it would have been for Biden to bring up business, and Biden would never cross that line. I'm a very simple man. I have a bachelor's degree in administration of justice. I worked in law enforcement for 25 years. I do not claim to be a politician. In my humble opinion, however, I would think that it's our president's job to have one-on-one conversations with other world leaders. If he gets pushy and testy on the telephone, so be it. It's not like we're sending the Marines to invade a country because they didn't do what we asked them to do over the phone. So if president becomes an ass on the telephone trying to get what he wants from a foreign government, so what? Isn't that what they're supposed to do? It's better for the president to be an asshole on the telephone and be pushy trying to get what he wants for this country, as opposed to being a leader that started a war because he didn't get what he wanted, or a leader who kowtowed to another foreign leader because he wouldn't be aggressive enough to, or pushy trying to get what he wanted over the telephone. Will there be an October surprise? White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows suggested that a corruption link between Romania and the family of Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden will be revealed in the days to come. Meadows said that Hunter Biden business dealings, including firms and clients in Romania, Ukraine, as well as China, that Americans will learn more about it in the coming days. Funds in the amount of $900 million were transferred to the U.S.-based company Rosemont Seneca Partners. This firm is affiliated with Biden. The payment referenced was payment for consultation services. Did Hunter Biden earn this money in a legitimate manner? That's very possible. The individual that Biden was consulting with in Romania opened the first Pizza Hut restaurant in the country. Make no mistake, I love pizza, but what is Biden's experience in the pizza restaurant business, and is his experience worth $900 million? Again,
not in pizza.
Well, not in that pizza, because there's better pizza than Pizza Hut. I'm just saying. But maybe not in Romania. Again, all of this information is outside of my comfort zone. I am not a restaurant consultant or an expert in Eastern European eating habits. There was formerly a transfer of $900 million in laundered money for lobbying expenses, for lobbying activities from Burisma Group to Joe Biden. This money was paid directly to Joe Biden through a lobbying company. Did this actually take place? I don't know. I'm not one of the investigators or investigative reporters. Should it be investigated? Probably, but again, I'm not one of the investigators. Joe Biden is denying any of this, but investigators are confirming this is so there seems to be some question as to whether it happened or not. Fortunately for Joe Biden, he has a built-in ironclad defense. If he does not actually have early Alzheimer's disease, he is certainly in the early stages. It's very easy for him to deny any allegations against his family and truthfully say he doesn't remember. That doesn't excuse any activities that his son is involved in, but it certainly is his path to remain out of prison. Here's how I see things moving forward. If Biden loses the election, because his mind is fading, nothing will come of this that will affect him. Additionally, there will be nothing that can be definitively shown to be illegal to affect his son Hunter. Hunter's consulting days, however, are way behind him. If Biden wins the election, it won't be a Republican investigation, but rather a Democratic investigation spearheaded by Nancy Pelosi targeting the Biden family. All of this will take place during the pandemic lockdown that America faces if Joe Biden wins the election. By early to mid-spring, Joe Biden's political career will be over. His path to freedom will be the fact that dementia is setting in with him. President Harris and her very progressive liberal whacked-out agenda will then be implemented and America will become a serious shit show. Probably the things that I like most about President Trump is that he's not a politician. Everybody acts like making money for yourself is a bad thing, and yet everybody tries to make money for themselves, including politicians. I could really give a shit if a politician makes money. What I care about is this country succeeding and prospering, and is my family getting by and or doing well. Donald Trump and his family are very wealthy. I don't think that his efforts are to rape the country to make money for himself. Truth be told, he's currently making less money now as a president than he was as the private citizen entrepreneur. People talk a lot of shit about Donald Trump and how he's making money for himself. Look at every politician that's ever been president over the last 40 years. They walked out of office with a whole hell of a lot more money than they had earned as president and ever before coming into office. It's a money-making venture, and I get it. I'm never going to be the president, and I get that too. What I don't appreciate is when politicians get caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Politicians are going to make a boatload of money just for being politicians. All too often, too many of them become greedy and try to make more money than what they can make during a normal course of being an honest politician. Obama probably said it better than anyone else, and I don't agree with Obama on very many things. Obama said elections have consequences. So here we are less than 2 weeks from our next set of consequences. My personal opinion is that President Harris will be a horrible but very transformative president. Under her administration, this country may not survive as we know it. I recommend re-electing Donald Trump. And that, my friends, is that. My name is Mongo. I drink whiskey, I smoke cigars, and I know things. Mongo is out.
Candygram for Mongo. Candygram for Mongo. Hey, Mongo. Sign, please. Thank you. Mongo like candy.
Once again, man, that was a Mongo log. Very informative, very factual, and very well put there, Mongo. Thank you for the time and effort you put into this every week, man. It really brings our viewership, it brings our listeners, and it gives them a new perspective on things. We're not about the fake news. We're all about, he does due diligence on this. He fact checks, every paragraph that he writes, that he takes the time to do. And, these are the opinions of Mongo. These are the opinions, informative opinions that we like to bring out. So, like I said, no matter which way you want to roll, think about the Mongo log, think about what you just heard, and make an informative choice and make an informative decision on your own. But, I agree with you, Mongo. This is an election that's going to make or break this country. So we gotta see what's going to happen.
Tell you what, it's going to be scary. I think this next week is going to be interesting, especially as this stuff starts breaking, because you can only keep it suppressed for so long. And even the people that don't want to believe the alternate news stations, not necessarily Fox, but you got the what's the other? My brain's like so
News
fried.
Nation. News Nation that came out. OAN.
OAN, yeah.
OAN.
So there's other news agencies out there that are reporting this, so they can't. Now, there's some people that refuse to watch those stations because if it's not on MSNBC or CNN, they're just not going to buy it. But
this is what's scary. It's a pressure cooker. This is a pressure cooker that's gonna, it's gonna explode. People are gonna put their head in the sand and they're gonna fail to realize until it's too late.
While our causes are definitely nonpartisan, everyone should be able to get behind helping our veterans and first responders, dealing with their mental health, supporting, backing the blue and the things that we advocate for. But as patriotic Americans who have served our country, the one thing I take out of everything he said there, besides the fact that he drinks whiskey and knows things, is this. This has the potential to be a transformational time for the bad in our country. And I think that for whatever our platform is, here, whatever our reach is, we need to stand up and advocate for America, for the American way of life, that where anybody can be what they want to be if they just put forth the effort. Nothing is for
Well
free. You don't get a handout and get ahead that way. You work for it. You help other people. You treat people right. But I'm afraid, as he said, because Biden is clearly senile. He's got some problems, and Harris, when they said she's the most liberal, socialistic person on a party ticket, they're not far from wrong. If she becomes president by some quirk of fate, or I don't even want to acknowledge that scenario as possible, but it is. And if it does, our country will cease to exist as we know it. And then we have to decide where are we at? Do we stand up and speak out against it, act out against it, or do we just meekly accept our fate? You look at some of these things that have been out there that have been verified about people that support Trump and America as it was need to be re-educated. I'm sure you saw those things this week when you were doing your research. That's stuff right out of the Nazi playbook, and the communist playbook, re-education camps, the socialists. Oh, well, you won't kowtow to what we think. We don't do that to people. We don't put people in camps. We don't do crap like that. We don't re-educate them. We believe in freedom of speech, freedom of thought. They don't want that. If you think differently from them, you're the bad person. You're a bad guy. And I know this.
And they'll target you.
Yeah, and they'll target you. I know this sounds crazy, but I'll say it straight up. And I've posted it many times, and I've been doing it since Obama was the president. I think that we've entered a state of civil war in this country already against the forces of good and evil. I think we collectively and our friends, our brothers and sisters, represent the forces of good. The Democrats, not all of them. There are some exceptions to that, but those that are on the national stage right now, and those that tip their hat to Antifa and BLM and Code Pink and Planned Parenthood and so on, all of those other organizations, they are my, I'll put it this way, they are my enemy. Okay?
Well, just before we go into the mad as hell, I just want to reiterate on something on that. Let's not divide our Republicans and our Democrats. Let's say there's Republicans.
It's Americans and anti-Americans.
Let's say it's Republicans and Democrats who we get along, right? And we can talk. All right. Let's talk about the far left. Mm-hmm. You know what? Because just to be neutral here for a second, we have a very far left and we have a very far right, right? And the very far right, the very far left are bleeding into our democracy.
So I have a question for you. Where do you say I fall into that?
You're a conservative. You're a patriot. You're not far right. You're not, when I talk about far right, I'm talking about these militia types. I'm talking about these the radical right that is more of a, let's put it like the Ku Klux Klan. Somebody is going to cause harm on democracy because they want it fit their way. Same with the far left. They want it this way, and they're bleeding into our democracy. When we look at that, Democrats and Republicans, from 10 years ago, all right, we were bipartisan pretty much. We were able to agree on some aspects of
everybody's political in agreement. 20% to the left of center, 20% to the right of center. You're in that 40% range. We could probably get along on most things. You get beyond those ranges when you start getting the far-fetched ideas, whether it's to the right or the left,
right?
Because it's not mainstream. The mainstream is that 40-degree area between 20 one way and 20 the other way.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm trying to say? You know, I mean, you have the far right and you have the far left, and those are the people that have these takeover America type of new-found government things. Democrats have speak one way, Republicans speak another way, but majority-wise, we're all looking out for the good of America, right? We're not looking at socialism. We're not looking at a takeover of the government.
The Democrats are.
The far left is. The far left.
And they're the ones at the forefront of the political.
That's what I'm saying. It's bleeding.
Debate right now.
That's what I'm saying. It's bleeding over into the Democratic Party. You know, and that's what you hear all the time. Does that make sense? You know, am I speaking out of turn? I mean, tell me if I'm.
No,
tell me.
I want people. I don't want to be controlled by the government.
Correct.
We've seen what's happened the last 8 months of COVID with the various states trying to control.
Well, the problem is we've got the mainstream. Like I said, they're in that 40% range from 21 way to 20 the other way. The problem is the loudest voices on the left right now are the more radical voices.
Mm-hmm.
The
Cortez.
Dude, my brain is still messed up.
You don't even want to speak her name.
And her ilk are way left, and they're the ones that are controlling the party. And Nancy Pelosi, as goofy as she is, she's running scared of these guys right now because they've got a very loud voice. So it's going to get beyond that 20% range. That's the problem.
So
I want Americans. I want people in office that love this country, put America first, call them nationalist. I don't. I care about people in other countries, but I care about Americans first. I care about freedom. Right. Everyone that we've been guaranteed by the Constitution, our freedom of thought, our freedom of expression, our freedom of speech, our right to keep and bear arms, our right against unreasonable government intrusions into our lives, and so on and so forth. And the right to worship as I please, or your right to not to worship.
Right.
I want to hear people advocate for those things. I don't want to be controlled by the government, and that's the way that the Democrats are headed. They want to control every cotton picking aspect of your life, and I see how radical. And again, I agree with some of what you're saying about the percentages, but where are these? If the vast majority of Democrats in this country are moderate, are reasonable, Joe Biden is not a moderate. He tries to say I'm a moderate, but he's not. He's as left wing and loony as Harris is. Where are they at?
But I think Mongo's right. I think the basic Democratic Party is running scared because of the far left.
But if they're a majority, where are they? And then if it's just a minority of people, then let's do something about it. Let's stamp out this cancer in our country.
Well, maybe it goes deep. Maybe it goes a lot deeper than we, the public, even know.
Yeah, part of the problem is you've got both parties, and you've got they believe strongly in what they believe in, but the loudest part of the left right now are the radicals. And the more moderate left, they're like, I'm just going to sit back. I'm not going to say shit because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want problems. So the loud ones, the violent ones, they're the ones that are making the most noise, and they're the ones that are getting the attention right now, because the guys that are on the left that are like decent people, it's like, I'm gonna stay out of this.
Yeah, when you look at that the squad, the AOC squad, people are running scared. People in the Democratic Party are running scared because, like you said, they're making a lot of noise. They're causing a lot of violence, and they're causing a lot of disruption within the regular into democracy. So, but you know what? Let's get off this because I do want to get on to your rant. I don't want to get into a political rant. I want to get because your rant is very important, and I'm sure it will bleed into the politics as well. So. Once again, we had the Mongo log and our new. It's actually a couple of episodes.
We've been able to do it a couple times.
Yep. The Mad as Hell segment.
Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it, my life has value. I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
And I'm 12 and I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to speak out about it every chance I get.
That doesn't sound like you're mad as hell. Sounds like
I'm
you're stoned.
So today I'm mad as hell and not going to take it anymore about BLM. Yesterday, an African American, a black police sergeant with Houston Police Department, 41 years of service, was killed by an illegal alien. And yet, every time a criminal is killed, a black life who happens to be a criminal, BLM stands up, they raise holy hell, they riot in the streets, they burn things down, they vandalize. Now, I realize that they are not solely responsible for that there's a large element of Antifa that participates in that, eggs things on. This crap, though, of only black lives matter, or only white lives matter, or brown lives matter instead of all lives matter has to stop. That's part of the problem of what we were talking about a few minutes ago. We have to have respect for all lives, for everybody in this country. The fact that BLM has not, and by the way, that's the 6th black law enforcement officer that I'm aware of. I may have missed some, but when I count them, there were 6 that have been killed this year. Most of them, with one exception, have been by either black suspects or Hispanic suspects. There was one killed by a white. How come they're not protesting? How come they're not speaking out? How come they're not in the street demanding justice for his life? All their little catchphrases that they use. To me, that just exposes them for who and what they are. They're a fraud being perpetrated on the American public. They are a political movement. They are a Marxist movement. And I call out, if you support them, I'm calling you out. I got 2 words for you and I can't say them on the air. It's BS. All lives matter. The death of that 41-year veteran who had a family, had a life, he was just weeks away from retirement. It mattered. And we need to start changing that particular narrative and get away from that. And my rant was going to be much more longer. I know we're up against a hard clock here, but we need as Americans, we need to just be able to look at one another and be brave enough, if you will, to say all lives matter equally. Black, red, yellow, brown, white, doesn't matter. They all matter. Enough with this divisiveness. That's why I said we as Americans, we need to come together. This 10% that's way out there on either side. I don't like the KKK. I think they're abhorrent. Let's take care of them. Let's do something about it. BLM, I think they're abhorrent. Let's do something about it, and let's bring America back together. Let's make America great. Let's keep America great, the greatest country in the world. I know Charlemagne the God said that he was quoted saying, America never was all that great anyway, echoing some words that Governor Cuomo said not too awful long ago, if y'all recall. That kind of crap, there's no place for that. America's the greatest country that God ever created. We need to be Americans first.
And if I could just add on to that, if I will, the death of Harold Preston, Sergeant Harold Preston in the Houston Police Department this week would have not happened if a liberal judge did not let an illegal immigrant out and back onto the streets, knowingly he owned a gun, possessed a gun, and returned ammunition to him so he can go kill this police officer. A domestic violence call not 2 days before that Harold Preston responded to and locked this guy up.
Yeah.
Later to be released by the district attorney's office and a judge to end the life of a 41-year-old veteran.
There has to be accountability.
There has to be
in our justice system.
All right, so speak out, speak up, and once again, this is 99% Radio Network. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for donating. We're almost at the halfway mark for our breast cancer awareness. So keep those donations coming in. I want to thank Grand Priest for that huge donation. Thank you very much. We're getting there. And until next week, stay blessed and stay well.